right, we are in.
In like Flynn.
That's it. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on? Dude,
everyone.
It's great to have Roger. It's great to have Roger on.
Yeah,
dude, Roger of Working Man Cigars. Thank you for coming on, dude.
No, thank you for inviting me. Like I said, I've always watched the show, and I'm a huge cigar content consumer, pretty much, and I've always watched the live streams, always like them. I like all you guys' channels, so for me, this is I never even thought like, oh, if I start making cigar content, maybe one day I'll be on the new wave. Like to be honest, I never thought that I'd be able to be on the show. So you can tell I'm freaking nervous. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
We're pretty chill. We're pretty chill, and I'm glad we have you like in the middle too. You're sandwiched between the two up top. So I like that. You're one of us. You're one of us.
Nice. Thank you guys.
Well, let's go through what we're all smoking tonight. Let's start from the top. Well, let's start with our guest, Roger. What are you gonna light up?
So I'm gonna be smoking the Freud, the Disruptor. So I know that this cigar was just reviewed by Michael, but yeah, I know it was okay for him, but I know you reviewed it. You thought it was really good, so we'll see how it goes. I do know that like from watching reviews, I connect a little bit more with Michael, so we'll see if I end up having similar experience like he did.
Yeah,
but I'm
here's the hoping, man. Yeah, especially since it's such a big ass cigar. Hopefully you don't hate it.
I know.
And what about you, Michael? What are you smoking?
So Roger sent over in his little bomb over to me this masterpiece, Hemingway by Fuente. We're gonna smoke that tonight. Freaking 9 inches of glory.
Jesus.
Pause.
What about you, Keelan? What do you have out there?
I don't know if y'all asked me, man. I can't hear shit. It sounds like a fucking robot, man. So, if y'all ask me, man, I got the Genesis by definition, man. Nice. Sorry if I interrupted anybody else, but I can't hear shit.
No, you're it, dude. Yeah, no, that's hopefully as we go along, the audio improves, but it could make for a fun night. So we'll see. And what about you, John?
Got the SP1014 Black. So we got the 7x54 double Corona, which I haven't had yet. So looking forward to it.
A lot of cigar.
And
I'm doing the ESG, Ashton ESG 22-year salute.
Nice.
Aged 4 to 5 years.
Ooh, all right. Dude.
John, do you like the red or the black more on the SPD 1014?
Dude, that's a good question. I think I remember liking the black, but it's been a little bit. I've had a lot more of the red lately, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to pull this out, because I mentioned this in the green room, but I'm starting to think through my end of year lists, and so I'm trying to refresh my memory on some of these and where they kind of rank up. So we'll find out tonight, man, because I've had a red pretty recently, so I think it'll be good to compare.
Nice.
How about you?
So I like the red more. I
like the red,
but it changes because if I overdo it on a certain cigar, then I'll smoke the other one. And the other day I smoked a Robusto black that Peter, the Cigar Collective, sent to me, and it was such a good cigar. And I don't remember liking it as much, but I smoke a lot of Toros, and that Robusto was killer, man. So that Vitola just changes everything for me. I just realized that out recently.
Yeah, man. So far, I think I've liked the Robustos better, but I don't know if that's just me.
Me too. That's the thing. I just don't like the time, because usually if I come out here, I want to smoke for a good amount of time. I'm just gonna do like some guys and bring 2 cigars and just sit down with 2 cigars every time I sit down.
Yeah, just bring out 1 black and 1 red, man. Call it a night.
There you go.
Yeah, the chat's popping off. No DJ, what happened? He's at Knott's Berry Farm, or coming back from Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh, is he? Is that where he vacationed here? He's in California.
Yeah, his family's from here. Yeah, so he lives in Texas, has family in Riverside, Moreno Valley. So they went to Knott's Berry Farm today.
That's crazy. That's just where I'm at, man. How long he's out here for? That's cool.
Yeah, man. He'll be stopping by my place next Sunday, so that'll be funny to see DJ. Like the only time I've seen DJ in person was in Vegas, and just to like have DJ, this guy I typically only see on a screen in Texas, like have him in my house, like in my backyard, it's going to be a trip. It's going to just be one of those like, kind of Twilight Zone thing in a good way, but a Twilight Zone thing.
What is that like when you guys meet each other after just communicating like this?
It's cool. It's one of those where, like, I guess if everybody was phony or like different than how they just normally seem casually in conversation, it would be weird. But being that everybody's just kind of like a spitting image of how they are communicating on the back end and through the camera, it's, at least so far. I haven't met John in person or EKB, but I mean, everybody seems very genuine. It's not like it's not really like a show face that everybody puts on. It's pretty, especially like for the live streams where we're doing these for 3.5 hours, right? Like, yeah, I think that everybody's personality comes out a lot more.
But no, it's the same. Like you said, you don't get a difference in how you guys speak or anything. I do watch some reviewers. I watch a ton of cigar content, and I do watch some reviewers who are like very similar in their reviews to how they are in. Like I do. You guys know what the Shadow Smokers Legion is?
Yes, that's Martina Meyer, right?
Oh yeah,
soy sauce assassin.
They're cool, man. Those guys are super cool. So they do like virtual lounges, and I always jump on like a virtual lounge just like this, and it's cool. It's not recorded or anything, but you hear how they speak, and it's the same way as like which shouldn't be crazy, right? Because I'm the same way, but I may be less vulgar and stuff when I'm on camera, because in real life it could be a little bit bad. But besides that, it's like the same thing. But those guys are cool, man. That's one of the first people in the cigar community that really opened themselves up to me, and it's the Shadow Smokers Legion. They're cool people. Almost everybody that I've talked to is cool people.
Yeah, it's a very inclusive community. Like, we're not, it's like the more people there are out there talking about the hobby, promoting the hobby, letting people know who are non-smokers that this is something that we're very passionate about, and it's harmless. I mean, harmless to them if they're a non-smoker. It's it's up to debate for what. I'm not getting into that, but we're very inclusive. We like to get as many people interested in what we're doing and let them know that normal people, just like you and me, just like John and Michael and Keelan, like, we love cigars and we're normal and we're nothing to be afraid of. Just to take the taboo out of it,
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. I did make that point in a video that I had done, where I thought more attention can only be good, because maybe YouTube then would be less quick to kind of, I don't know, like, get people in trouble for cigar content, try to separate it from tobacco. But then somebody told me it could work the opposite way and bring more attention, make it worse. And I was like, I don't know. I guess
there's always,
I agree with your perspective.
There's always a devil's advocate. There's always there's two sides to every coin. And like, if you get a lot of people into like, creating content, cigar content within the parameters right now, you'll always get people that try to do things they shouldn't, like make money, like, try and monetize it in ways that is not, you shouldn't be monetizing legally on YouTube. So, and then by doing that, the restrictions are tightened even more to try and stop it, and that which screws us all, to the point to where we may not be able to exist. That's the biggest issue I'd have with like people getting into it from the content creator side without having the best intentions. That'll be the other side of the coin.
Yeah,
I see.
The rules are pretty strict as it is, so I'm hoping nothing.
Like, what else can they do?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's like
just an outright ban.
Right.
Yeah.
Would be so hypocritical on so many levels, considering some of the content that's out there. So,
why'd you guys get into cigar content?
We should be asking this. We should be asking you this, Roger. But we'll all answer then you answer.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like it's just something to do, and it was something that's like I've always felt like with watching people do it before me. It's like, oh, that seems like it'd be fun. That seems like it'd be like something like, you know, kind of fulfilling and something like that would be able to connect me with other people, hence you guys, you know. So, and it's just like I had it in my head for probably like 2 years that I was going to start a YouTube channel. And just like during that time, I just accumulated a shit ton of cigars just with the mindset of like, I'm going to have all these lined up for my channel whenever I get it up and running, which took like 2 years because where I was living at the time, I couldn't smoke because it was a rental property and they didn't allow smoking, you know, smoking wasn't allowed. So I had to wait that length of time to be able to move somewhere and live somewhere where I can actually freaking smoke where I live. So that's kind of like the impetus of like the mindset, like how long it took and what my mindset was and where I'm at now. So that's pretty much how I got there. It just seems like something that I've always loved cigars. I've always like smoking since 2008, like my entire adult life essentially, and just took it to another nerdy level, I guess, you know.
It's awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, similar answer for me. I'm super into cigars, and so it was just a fun outlet. So I thought it would be cool too to just be able to meet with some people, you know, or connect with people online and just have something to talk about and share. So, and what DJ said, all the money that I make off of it. You know?
I saw that.
Yeah,
that's
huge incentive. Super loaded.
Stacking them.
That pickle, it was like $100,000. So.
Is that a pickle or a cat?
More money.
It's a pickle.
Yeah.
We call it the pickle.
It's a pickle.
It's a pickle.
Long live the pickle.
It's an oddly shaped pickle. That's what the first person said. It's
I get you.
Prickly pickle.
No shame.
Prickly pear.
Who's going next? You, Michael?
Keelan.
Or Keelan?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you guys.
Keelan. Okay, sweet.
What am I?
So yeah, but you, Keelan or Michael, you go.
What am I?
We were just going around and we were talking about what we were thankful for because, you know, it's right before Thanksgiving. And no, just how we got started, what inspired us to make our channels.
Got you. I'll follow you, man. I'll go last. You know, I'll follow you, bro.
Okay. For me, I was already helping out a buddy with his channel, and his was very cocktail centric because that's my background and his background. And he had me on his show, and he was just like, you know, you should try to work in like your passion for cigars into the episode. So at the end of the episode, I give him a cigar to pair with his cocktail. And he was like, after we were done, we were talking off to the side, and he was like, you know, if you want, you could use all these resources and stuff like that and make your own channel, and you can do something to the effect of like cigars and spirit pairings. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like it was during the pandemic, and it was like didn't have anything else that I was really working on. So I was like, maybe I'll just like get this channel up off the ground before I go back to work full time. And that was the whole entire thing, was to make something that was like more so a pairing channel. And then it was like more of a review channel with a pairing added in element. So that's how it came to be. But honestly, I really didn't watch like a ton of cigar reviews beforehand. So I didn't know anybody outside of the typical, like, you know, old school channels that were around, like Daily and Vixen and, you know, Prop and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Keelan?
There's not many of those people doing the. I mean, everybody tries to pair it with like bourbon or, you know, stuff like that. But I see you always drinking with different stuff, Michael. So that's cool.
Yeah, man. And like, you want to know what was cool was that. So I was at F1 on Friday, and I ran into the team from Sazerac, one of the local ladies that runs the whole entire market for them. She's the one that hooked me up with like the Fireball cigars and some of the Weller stuff that I have and whatnot. And she's there with the national brand ambassador for Buffalo Trace. And this gal, you know, she gets introduced to me and she's like, yeah, you know, Michael, he's got this Master Your Ass show. He's paired some of our whiskeys and this, that, and the other thing. And she's like, have you ever tried cognac with cigars? And I'm like, yeah, honestly, that's one of my favorite pairings, you know? And she's like, oh, I think that it pairs so much better than some of our whiskeys. And I'm like, that's cool. Like the national ambassador is just like backing me up. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm good.
That's cool. But I'm sure you meet a ton of people like that, especially where you're at, man. That's
yeah,
it's crazy. I can be in Vegas for 3 nights and then I'm done, man.
I was done after one night.
Matt was done upon arrival.
Yes, I'm not a Vegas guy. I love Michael. I love Michael to death, but fuck where you live.
No, man, I get it, man. I get it. It takes a while to acclimate, I feel like. But I've had plenty of time.
Yeah. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. You're the perfect person to have, like, to guide me through. Like, okay, this is where he goes, what you do. Like, I need that.
Yeah.
Gosh, I need that.
Some love for you, NeedOne.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna try to do this without. I'm gonna try to do this shit. I'm gonna try to do this shit without getting kicked out of here. Because audio.
Yeah, there's some sort of like there's some sort of like audio interference thing because StreamYard actually put out like a little note with that.
Did they do like an update it's mixing up or?
Yeah, something like that. I think that it's like Android devices or something. We should tell. I'm gonna tell EKB on the side.
Okay. While we're waiting,
maybe if he has like a laptop.
Yeah. While we're waiting, Roger, why don't you tell us, man, what got you into it?
So I mean, my reason's dumb, man. Like I was just mentioning this to Shadow Smokers Legion, Tony, the head guy. He looked at me like, what? So, and I talk a lot, so I'll preface that. If you guys need me to stop, just like, Mike, do like hands.
No, you go, man.
You're good.
You go.
So
it does seem like guys is attacking. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I can't hear you yet, but I'm gonna try to do this and answer this. Can y'all hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can at least hear what I'm fucking saying. All right,
we can hear you. Yeah.
Let's do this real quick. So for me, I'm a pandemic baby, just like y'all. I was in Fresno, California at the time. My wife does not give a flying fuck about cigars or tobacco, so I wasn't talking about tobacco and cigars. Couldn't go out to lounges. I couldn't do shit like out. I actually wanted to get on YouTube and I wanted to come in and make it fun, make cigars fun instead of just being all stuffy and suits and shit like that. I wanted it to here we go. I wanted to make it so like I have a show that was gonna be fun, in depth, long form, and do all that shit. Really talk about, add the whole hip hop, you know, anime culture, cartoon culture, Saturday morning cartoons, kung fu, and put all that shit in the cigars. And that's how I got here. Now I'm gonna shut the fuck up and hope I can hear you guys at some point in time.
Alex Chavez has a very poignant comment.
Yes, I saw that and it was perfect.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Which I think that what EKB does, like those, just like you said, right? That long form stuff, the long form content that he makes specifically is like I really love that type of content because I joke with my wife, I'm gonna have like knock on wood, I'm gonna have like a brain tumor or something from the AirPod that's in my ear. Like for years it's been in there. And I listen to it. I listen to EKB's lives and, you know, just talking. He's such a good communicator. And I love it, man. Like that I really enjoy that stuff. When I want to know if a cigar is good, obviously I go to your guys' channel because it's a quick, like, cool, should I buy this one? Should I not? But like EKB's stuff and DJ stuff is like the funny stuff for me. But EKB stuff is like the stuff that I listen to when I'm driving, when I'm working, when I mean, so I enjoy it. So I get why he would do it. Like his message that he just said it makes sense because his content does come across like that.
Yeah.
But I have two like really big reasons that I started doing it. I've always loved YouTube. Like I like YouTube. I've had like YouTube Premium, YouTube Red for years. And I've always wanted to make like content, but I always wanted to make content about what I'm like truly passionate about. And that's plumbing, and not just regular plumbing, service plumbing. So like people could think, who the hell's passionate about plumbing? But there's service plumbing is like a whole nother thing, right? And I've seen it change people's lives. It's changed my life. It's changed my family's life. So like I'm super passionate about that. And at work, I'm more of a motivator kind of. We build guys up now, and I built up kids that I've known when they were like 15 years old, 16 to like 6-figure earners, big like So I've seen these kids like grow up to be good producers, and so I wanted to make videos about that, but I didn't really. Cigar stuff is cool because you make a video, and if somebody doesn't agree with you, they just like. But if you say something wrong in plumbing, people are down your throat, man. So I've always been scared to do anything about that because everybody does things differently, and I don't want them to start flaming me in the comments for doing things a certain way. But
yeah.
So I remember thinking,
even not to cut you off, but I mean, even when you were showcasing some of your woodworking stuff, they were coming at you. I saw it like a couple of your shorts and stuff. Yeah. They were just like, "Why? You need to do this. You need to take off a finger."
Yeah, which they're right? That's why I don't have fingers, man. Like that's why I got missing fingers. But they're right. But they so I don't blame them, right? And in plumbing though, there's like codes, and somebody could just. And also, I'm wearing like the uniform shirt for the company, so it's always been scary for me. But I wanted to like get practicing. I'm like, well, I'm gonna do it based off something that's like my hobby, right? Like I love cigars, and I want to make it off cigars. That's like reason number 2. The most important reason why I started making cigar content was so I can go to PCA. And that was the only reason, the number one reason why I started making it. And when I said that to other people, they're like, dude, like you're a newbie if you want to go to PCA. And I was like, well, that's what I am, man. I'm a newbie. I wanted to go to PCA. I didn't go, but I wanted to start content just so I can pay for the pass to be, I didn't even want to go interview anybody. I just want to go. We go to a lot of plumbing conventions, like sanitary conventions, like the porta potty business is like a big thing. We go to those conventions, and I wanted to go to like a cigar convention. And I will, but that's like really the number one reason was because I wanted to go to PCA.
This next year, I could definitely see you like qualifying. I think was it Anton? Is that the gentleman's name? The contact of PCA. The organization, he'll just take a look at your channel and be like, this guy's legit. And then now you don't have to pay any dues. There's no dues to pay as media to get in. So
no way.
You should be in like Flynn. It was like $450, I think, something like that. But yeah, we don't have to do that anymore.
I liked
but that was pretty much it.
I liked that you like thought of something like, that sucks. Like you feel like you can't do the one channel like that kind of like just the audience. But I'm glad it like didn't stop you from doing this, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. This has been so far. It's been fun. It's cool. Like I said, I've been doing it for a few months, and I'm sitting here with you guys. Like to me, this is crazy, so it's been completely worth it. And I've made so many friends, so many cool people that we say this like in like a plumbing shop, the culture is really important, right? Like if your shop is full of a ton of whiners and complainers, everybody then, even a new guy, will turn into a whiner and a complainer. And if you have a shop full of lazy guys that work the clock, everybody then teaches the new guys to work the clock. And in cigar content, everybody's so giving. I don't know. It's my experience. Everybody, even people that don't have channels, that they're very, like Eric Tran. I don't know if you guys know who Smoke One, if you have one, is.
Yes. Cool dude.
So he's hilarious, man. He's freaking funny. But they got him and Tony the Soy Sauce Assassin bought that Year of the Dragon Davidoff, right? The one that just came out. but they bought the Grand Toro box, and that box is like expensive. So they went half, and I was like, hey, dude, sell me some of those sticks because I pretty much have. I bought a box of the double Coronas, which is 10 of them, and I pretty much have them set to send out to like they're already gone. So I wanted to try the Grand Tour, and I want to send one to Peter because I know Peter bought the double Corona, and I wanted to send him like the different size. And I told Eric, I'm like, sell me some, bro, because I know they're like $90 each one, and I'm like, sell me like 3 or 4. And he's like, I wouldn't sell it to you, bro. Yeah, man. He's like, you're my friend. I wouldn't sell it to you. I would. You want 3? I'll send you 3. You want 4? I'll send you 4. So I'm not gonna ever charge you for something. And I'm like, damn, man. Like he's, and that's not just him. That's experience I've gotten from. I mean, you guys. Tell me, you guys send me stuff, and it's cool. Like it. I think it makes everybody share and trade, and that's what kind of makes this thing even more fun.
Yeah, there's only one guy I've come across who's real stingy. His name's Peter. I think it's like the Cigar Collective. He just never.
I think I know who you're talking about.
So stingy. I know who you're talking about. So stingy. Like, yeah. If y'all ever see him, he's
That guy's famous for being a stingy guy. I think I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Half my
Peter rocks
from Peter, probably.
Peter does rock.
Yeah, half of our collections are like from Peter.
And recent reviews.
Yes, and recent reviews, man.
He said I'm trying to
pretty relevant.
Yeah. Peter the Cigar Collective exposed.
But yeah, I knew because I knew the Dragon, that was a double Corona, and I knew that they did that Grand Toro thing with the Rabbit. I didn't know that they did the Grand Toro with the Dragon as well.
Mm-hmm. It's like over $2,000, like $2,400 or something for that box.
For the box, is it a box of 10?
No, I think it's like 20 of them or 22 of them or something like that. Yeah. So, but it's cool. I've never bought a box. I know Peter had told me one time. He's like, I was like, how do you save all these? How do you age all these cigars, man? Like, because I don't have that discipline to save them like that. So, and he's like, you just have to buy boxes. And I had never bought a box. So that year, the Dragon, because that's my Zodiac year, it's the first box that I bought just because.
Nice.
Because of that.
That's cool, dude. That's cool. I hope it's a good cigar. Whereas Michael and I got pretty fucked since the year the Tiger was very mediocre.
No way. No, I'll send you guys once you guys could try it out and see what you think.
So true.
I have a couple coming in from Corona, so it's definitely hook up these guys. But I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do, but yeah, I'm good.
No, man.
Thank you, dude.
Sure. I told Peter too. I'm like, oh man, I think I finally got a cigar you haven't got yet. So as soon as I get it, I'm gonna send it to you. It's the Davidoff Year of the Dragon. He's like, oh yeah, I got a box already. I was like, damn, man, of course you do. Of course he
does. Of course.
Shout out.
Yeah, he has.
80... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Shout out to the 80 live viewers tonight. Thank you all for kicking off with us.
80.
80.
The comments, man. These guys are so cool, man.
Thanks for joining us, y'all. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Love you guys, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe Sunday evenings are the way to go.
Yeah,
maybe.
Dude, seems like it. Damn.
Is there a football game on?
Yeah, there has to be.
Yeah,
I think it's Minnesota.
It's Minnesota. Yeah.
Minnesota.
Denver.
Oh, that's why.
In Denver. That's why I didn't remember the other team. Yeah, that's why.
That's why. Who wants to watch that?
Dude, Michael, speaking of which, your team won today.
We won a game. We won a game. Bro, they had DeVito out there doing the Italian Jersey Shore. He was out there just putting it on them. It was awesome against the Commanders.
Made you pray. Yeah, the Commanders aren't terrible. They're not great, but they're not terrible.
Yeah.
They sold the farm a little bit.
Even though they just got rid of Chase Young and Sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
So how are you guys with cigar smoking so far?
So far, so good, man. This masterpiece is we're gonna see how far we can go, but we're there about an inch.
You think
Beautiful
that age thing was bullshit, Michael? You think that age thing was bullshit? I saw him grab the box. They almost had mold on them.
we can talk about it. So first off, I threw the cello. The cello had a little bit of age to it, right? And you said that the B&M that you bought it at, they said that it was like what, 4 or 5 years of age, or no, it's 2015.
From 2015, I think. Yeah.
I mean,
so 8 years
around there.
It tastes like an older Hemingway for sure. It's got to be probably somewhere in that ballpark, man. I don't think it's bullshit.
Because they almost had like that white, like that plume stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh damn, this thing's old for real.
Is the Maduro Hemingway broadleaf?
The Maduro, the Hemingway is broadleaf, yeah, right?
I believe so. I believe the Maduro is broadleaf.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Which is more like you would have those crystals on it more so from what I've experienced anyways, more so than like San Andreas.
I'm gonna start a argument in the chats. Plume is just mold.
Yeah.
I watched there was some sort of Cuban video or not Cuban, but a guy who reviews Cuban cigars on his thing, and he has like a sunroom that he sits in, like a cabin style sunroom, and like a big leather chair, and he just like opens up his laptop and reviews cigars, like Cuban cigars. I forget the name of the channel. It's bad on me. Hold on, let me pull it up. It got recommended in my feed last night. I saw it for the first time, and anyway, he was smoking like some fake Behikis, and
he said everybody was getting on just like reviewing fake ones. Like
it wasn't that they were fake, it was that he bought them in Cuba and everybody was saying that they were fake. Habana Daydreaming.
Oh, I know who he is. I like his videos. Yeah, the guy that shows his boots, right?
Yeah, he shows off his watch and his boots. He does a watch and a boot check.
Yeah.
Cool. I feel like that's kind of cringe, but it's all right.
His boots are cool, but I wish I could play him off. But he's like he sounds like a super gullible guy. I don't know him, so I shouldn't say that. But he was talking about how he gave some $100 sunglasses, and they gave him that box of like Behikis. It's like, bro, come on, man. That's like
Damn. He was like, look, I was in Cuba, so they're definitely Cuban. And it's like, listen, man, I've been to Cuba.
Doesn't matter.
There's a lot of non-Cuban cigars that get sold as Cubans.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. They look nice though. I mean, but they weren't even in a Behiki box, right? They were in they weren't even in a Cohiba box. They were like in a random Humidor box, right? That wasn't even, I'm telling you guys, I watched a ton of stuff.
It was like a different box, and instead of it saying Behiki on the side, it actually said Cohiba, and it's not supposed to say that. It's not supposed to say Cohiba anywhere on the Behiki. So it was weird. But how about them boys? Yeah, how about them boys? First round playoff exit coming up.
Peter's comment. All right, Peter, we're officially beefing now. We got beef.
Dang Giants won. Yeah, those dang Giants, bro.
The other cool thing about the like making content is you make a lot of I made a ton of friends in cigar content. Instagram, I suck at Instagram. Like my wife is the one that has to text me. He's like, hey, have you checked Instagram? And that's why sometimes people used to write me messages and I'd go like a day without seeing it. But I like most of the people I talk to daily. I mean, because I'm quite a bit older now, so I don't keep too much in touch with a lot of friends. The most people I speak to now is like other cigar people, like Cigar Side Chats. He's super cool. I talk to him all the time. Crazy Gringo Cigars, John, super cool, man. Always hits me up, sees how my weekend's going. Like, I mean, it's just cool people, man. I love the cigar community. It's been cool.
Agreed, man.
You get just a bunch of chill people, man. All walks of life, doesn't matter. Like we love smoking good shit. That's what brings us all together.
John sends fake cigars. There's also some weird people out there. Like I should say, I should make a disclaimer. No shit. Yeah. I should make. There's like some people that I'm maybe because I'm not used to it. It just like kind of it puts me off. But it's I should make a disclaimer about. Because you guys have sent me bombs, and I like to do when I get around to it, I'll do the like opening, showing what I got, and I have a lot of cool people that I have sent cigar bombs to, even people who don't have channels, right? Just because they're cool, and it's like so I've sent them some stuff. But then there's some people. There was one guy just like 2 weeks ago who asked me, have you smoked that Plasencia the Tiger? That oh, I saw that you got the Plasencia the Tiger, and I'm like, yeah, I got that sent from Michael. Hey man, can you send it to me? And I'm like, I can't send you that cigar, bro. Like it was I haven't even smoked that. I'm like, for one, I'm like, and Michael sent it to me. I'm like, I can't, bro. If I had another one, I would send it to you because then it's cool. Then I don't feel like I'm regifting something. But I can't send you something that was sent to me, dude. And he's like, just ask him for another one. I was like, bro, I can't do that, man. Like I was
that's strange.
And I was gonna say it's my culture that you don't re-gift stuff, but it's not my culture because I'm sure it's not like a Hispanic thing. But asked. In my family, you don't re-give something, right? Like, and I should make the disclaimer. If anybody asks me for anything, I'm cool sharing. But like, if it's something sent to me by one of the guys and I don't have like another one, even if it's not like a super good stick, like I just can't. So, and that guy just put LOL, okay. And I thought, okay, this guy got
dude. The gall of some people, man. Like they just no shame. Like I mean, I don't want to like say that like I'm very selective with who I send out bombs to, but it's like if I don't know you, if we have no record, if we have like no like Discord before, and you just come at me as a stranger asking for cigars, you can probably guess what my answer is gonna be. You can probably guess what anybody's answer is gonna be. It's like, give me a break. I don't know you. Why would I?
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm like, dude, he specifically asked for like, just ask him for another one. I don't even know this guy. I don't follow him. He wasn't even following my page. It was just a message I got on Instagram on one of those like the
bizarre
request part. Yeah, it was
just a rando.
It's a trip, man.
I feel like some people just are of the mindset that like, oh, if I shoot a shot, maybe it'll it'll happen.
Yeah,
especially on the internet.
Yeah,
especially
That's all it is. It's just random trolling.
Yeah. Someone had a question earlier I wanted to touch on, but someone said that they would never. I think it was Smoky Catholic, but they said what cigar is worth $20 because they typically wouldn't spend more than $20 on a cigar. But do y'all have one that y'all would recommend that's over 20 that you feel like was actually worth it?
Over 20 and actually worth it.
There you go. Smoky Catholic.
ESG.
There you go. Yep.
This thing is money.
Yeah, how is 4 to 5
years? What was that, John?
How is it in that Vitola?
Oh, it's fucking bomb. I prefer non-taper tip, like just a regular Toro, but this thing's money.
Yeah,
it's so sweet. It's a Dominican Puro, so mostly Dominican tobacco. I'm gonna like it. It's really fucking good. It's like it has like that mustiness from the age too. I'm really digging it.
Nice.
Yeah, you said it's like 4 or 5 years old.
It's 4 to 5 years old. I'm guessing MSRP on this cigar is probably around like $30, probably like $25-$30 for this one, especially in California. You're probably be paying like fucking $45-$50 in California, but yeah, worth it in my opinion. Just not an everyday smoke, obviously, but worth it to try and worth for a special occasion.
Where are you guys buying these $20 Almafuertes at? Because
Or Eye the Shark, like EKB just said.
Yeah, Eye the Shark. I remember going up to Dion's shop up in Reno and finding that for like 17, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, getting this, getting this." Andalusian Bulls for sure, because they tend to always creep into that, even though their MSRP is 18.
Yeah,
like Andalusian Bulls, I love those.
Yeah,
and they're definitely worth $20. The La Vereda. I smoked that today, and that is I mean, my review is going to come out next week, most likely on it, and that cigar is worth its MSRP. I will say that right now.
Yeah, dude, that I'm so glad you called that one out, man. That thing's trending to be. That one is up there for me on the top releases of the year.
I want to smoke it in the 56 because I think that I smoked the 54 just to see, because like my delineation between 54s and above and 54s and below. So I want to check because that could give the list hell for the end of the year.
Dude, that thing was so good, man. That was such a creamy nutty for me. It was such a creamy cigar.
Cuban-esque
Yes.
too. Very
Yes.
Cuban-esque in its
Yep.
smoke. I thought it was great. You guys will see the review next week, but I mean, I'll
Cool, man.
sneak peek it right now.
I
Great.
gotta smoke that too.
I would say for me too, y'all have heard me mention this one, but the Angel Share was absolutely worth it. It's over $20. It was like, I think I got mine for like 30, but I got a tin of 3 for like 80 actually. But, that was worth it for sure. So
that's your
Angel
one right
Cuesta?
there, John.
What'd you say?
That's your one right there, John. Just one cigar you think, or you got some more that you think are worth over 20?
I mean, the Amo Fuerte, but I can find those not $20. So, but if they're 20, I think still around 20 is worth it for me. That Liga Privada 10-year anniversario, that one's 18 though, right? That's not 20, is it? I don't have a lot worth over 20 in my opinion, man. I don't find a lot of them. I've had a lot of bad luck with limited editions this year too, though. So,
I don't.
True that. I feel like if it's over 30, 35, that's when I start to be like, no. I've had too many $40 limited edition cigars that
letdowns.
Complete shit.
Complete shit.
Damn. Yeah. So
I imagine $20 is it's a lot of money, right, for a cigar, but is it though really now? Because a lot of cigars are over 20, right?
Well, so I'm from Texas, and so for us it is. So our prices are way cheaper than in California. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like when I barely started smoking cigars, right? I would go to this shop that's in Palm Springs on the Strip, and it's like a liquor. It's a wine and like a cigar shop, and you sit outside and on the Strip, and it's cool. But every cigar there is at least like $20. Like I haven't gone there in so long, like almost 2 years. But that shop is the first place I went to. Yeah, it's super expensive. So, and then the other shop that I go to is on the Strip as well. But that's a tinderbox. They are more reasonably priced. But like that Alec Bradley, for example, is $40. The Fine and Rare is $40. The Angel Share,
the Fine and Rare, the Fine and Rare, yeah.
The Fine and Rare is $40. Yeah. The Angel Shares, you could buy that tin, that three pack tin, it's $150, and then the Brulee is $23. So like, there's a lot of cigars over $20 that I got used to those prices.
Yeah,
Peter.
And that's what I'm saying when I'm calling out like Angel Share and a couple of them is because like in Texas I usually get them for really good prices. But no, the Andalusian Bull for sure. I mean, there's definitely more I can reel off, but that Angel Share for me is one that stands out just as far as one that was really, really, really good. So
yeah, I do buy most of my stuff online now just because it's like you have to. It's way too expensive buying them at the B&M, but I love my B&M and I love the owners. Well, that guy just sold it, so there's new owners going in there. But like I used to love them, so I went over there a lot too, just because he would save me some stuff. Like he saved me. He got the Rare Pinks, the sophisticated hooker, that big one. And I went in there. He's like, I saved you too, because like I know you're probably gonna want to try it. And I'm like, yeah, but they're $80. So I was like, fuck, I only bought one. And then I saw how much they actually cost, and I thought, damn, they're this much. My wife's always like, how much was that cigar? I'm like, no, it's not much. Don't worry about it. It's not much. But damn.
My thing is like, and we talk about this all the time on the New Wave, so I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. But my thing is like, the way I think about it is, can I get as good of an experience for $15? That's always on my mind. Right. And so like if a cigar is $30 and I ask that question and the answer is yes, I can get a better experience or as good experience for half the price, that's not worth it to me, But the Angel Share for me is one of the cigars that I feel like actually it has a lot of reasons why I could see why they priced it that way. Like there's actual like
the quality of experience
why they did it versus just for the hell of it, which is what all these cigar companies are doing now, which is just like, we're going to call it limited edition, say it's $40 and say it's age and all this stuff. And it's in my opinion, it's not justified.
That's why, like, I think for us having cigar channels, it's important for us to not allow companies or do everything we can to make it to where a $20 cigar isn't the norm.
Right.
Like, I think because we're a mouthpiece for consumers, because we're all consumers, all of us here, we're consumers first and foremost before anything else when it comes to cigars. So it's important for us to always just facilitate to the manufacturers to let them know, like, this cigar is this much, it's not worth it. Like, try one if you want, but as far as buying a box, I don't recommend it because of the price. And like that, was it the DPG, the 20th anniversary, I think? That's a $40 cigar, 40 something dollar cigar. That cigar blew ass. It wasn't good for a $40 cigar, especially. And and because of the price, I said this in the review, because of the price, I'm not going to go back to try that cigar again. I could have just had a turd. I could have had a one-off, like a one-off terrible cigar. I'm not going to go back to find out because of the price. They fucked themselves out of potential future customers because of how expensive they made their cigar to begin with. And there's ramifications for that, and manufacturers need to know that. And we are the people, we're some of the people that have a voice within this community, and it's important to keep that in mind.
Yeah, dude. Like for me, if it's, and I'm going on a rant, I'll shut up. So I'm talking a lot, but
I just ranted.
No, you can have the whole thing.
No,
yeah, have the floor. Have the floor. Don't put me out.
Yeah, for me, if cigars, like the Angel Share, I got it for $28 a cigar, right? For me, it's like, all right, is it impeccable construction? And I mean like impeccable. Is it a slow burner? Does it have really depth of flavor? And are those flavors unique? Does it have a good story? Does it taste like aged tobacco? Does it have rich? I mean, there's just so many levels that like, if it answers all of those, then I'm like, sure, I get it. Because that's, you don't find too many cigars that hit on every single level like that. And they are out there, but so many of these, man, that have come out recently just don't hit on that. And it's just like, so why am I going to pay $40 for it, dude? And I'm like, look, this is $10.
Oh, baby. Yeah. That's like a $10, $11, $12 cigar.
Yeah. And I know everyone thinks we're Sanj nut huggers, but like, I'm just making a point.
We are, but for good reason, because he makes damn good cigars.
Yeah.
And look, there's some $30 sticks that maybe are better than this, but this thing is better than a lot of $40 sticks I've had too.
Yeah, and I mean, like I dedicate the month of October basically to Tatuaje every year with a couple of extra brands sprinkled in, as long as they have something that's Halloween themed, right? Like Asylum and Crowned Heads and so on and so forth. And then there's like, we all appreciate Saka stuff, EKB especially, right? And Peter, he's posted a lot of Saka stuff, and I think that everybody's pretty critical too. And we voiced the criticism, like last year when Saka released the Saka Con. I mean, it was universally on everybody's list. Everybody liked it, so on and so forth. And
DJ didn't like it.
DJ didn't like it. That's right. And well, he didn't like the Sin Compromiso either. Yeah. And Saka sent him a boatload of them. Just like
smoke them until you like them.
Find something you like.
Find your flavor, bro. And he did.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing, is that everybody's palate's different, but universally I think that there are some that just, effectively as a collective we all share in common. I think that Sanj has quite a few in that realm.
Yeah, man, his cigars are good. They're really good.
Look at that.
I even to newbies,
So
right?
good.
Like I had made a video once where I went to on vacation with family, and these guys aren't cigar smokers except for one. One of my cuñados is a cigar smoker, and I took some industry killers. I took Brulés, I took Kintsugis, I took cigars that I thought, okay, cool, people like them. They all wanted to smoke the industry killer. They're like, oh, it's so smooth. Oh, this one's so good. Oh, this one, it doesn't feel bad, and this one's not harsh, and the smoke's not strong. And I mean, it's crazy, but it's just the facts are the facts, right? Like it is what it is. His cigars are really good.
Yeah.
But see,
very reasonably priced.
Yeah, exactly. I always tell people in my videos, it's that I don't review cigars because I don't have the palate and the skill set to say, I watch a lot of people's reviews where they're like, this is not a $25 stick. This is a $13 stick based off this, and that, right? Tony, the soy sauce assassin, does that. And he's been smoking for so long. This dude has reviewed 4 Oro Blancos on his channel. So he smokes like crazy cigars, but a cheap cigar, he will give it props when it's a good cigar. So these guys are able to do that. And I don't have the ability, I don't have the skill set to do that. And I always tell people, don't listen to me because I'm a huge try once kind of guy. So like anything, because even online, right? Like here, Opus, that Angel Share that 3-pack is like the cheapest one that you can get the Angel Share, which is really good. One of my favorite cigars. But then like the Opus 20th anniversary is 80. The Forbidden X, the Deseos de Amor is 80. Like these are all $80 cigars. So to me, it was so normal to like, okay, like if you want to smoke one of these, like I always tell people, if you want to try it, if you want to smoke it, like, yeah, get it and try it. Do what I do it. It's like I would, because I know myself, and I see those cigars, and like in my back of my mind, I'm always thinking, damn, they're probably so good. They're probably, they're that expensive for a reason. I want to try it. And then I try it, and you scratch that itch or whatever. But I always tell people, don't use my like overview as a justification to go buy one, because you might not like it. And then if you spent $80 and it hurts, then don't do it. Like, just don't do it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, to tastes are extremely subjective. Also, people's expendable income is extremely subjective as well. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, one of my guys doesn't even smoke cigars. He like smokes Black and Milds, but we go to the lounge. We got a lounge here, and this dude bought a Davidoff Royal just because it makes a lot of money. He just like to smoke it. Every time it's always like expensive cigars. Like, damn, dude.
The ESG. The ESG is the answer, Colin. With some age to it.
But,
it's been a minute
Roger,
since I had an ESG. Sorry,
dude. It's been like a year and a half since I've had one, since I did my review. But it's really fucking good. And also, props to Ashton, man. Like, they don't come out with like crazy LEs. They don't like do a bunch of like, they just stick to what they know, their core lines, and they just keep putting out damn good cigars. So props to Ashton for that.
Yeah, dude, I'm a big Ashton fan, man. Like, I mean, not all of them are bangers, obviously, like any company, but I feel like they put out good shit, and I feel like they go under the radar nowadays a little bit.
They do. Yep. They do, because they don't do all the LEs. They stick to what they know,
Yeah.
Later, John.
Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Yep.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
That's Crazy Gringo Cigars. J-Ram, super cool, man. Like, I talk to that guy daily, man. He's such a cool freaking guy. It's like, again, I made a ton of friends in the cigar community, so it's cool. But Ashton is like, I don't smoke much Ashton, because in the beginning, this is when I was barely starting. I went to that shop that I mentioned that's in Palm Springs, and I was looking around, and they don't have many cigars, right? But at the time, I thought, this is so many cigars. You walk into this humidor, and there's a guy there, and I'm looking at them, and he's like, oh, like, what do you smoke? It's like, I don't really smoke, man. I just, on vacation I smoked, and I kind of want to get into it. And he gave me Ashton. It's a I don't know which one it was, but it's just the word Ashton, and it's got like a white label in the background, and it was a dark Maduro. And he's like, these dark ones, everybody says they're strong, but it's a chocolate bar, man. This is a chocolatey cigar. So I thought, I want to smoke chocolate bar. I want to see what that's like. So I have it. I came home. It was so bitter and so strong, and it made me feel so sick. Like that.
Really?
Yeah, I did not like it at all. Again, that was like my third cigar that was not a cheap cigar, So I've smoked Ashton since then. The VSG, I like it. But that cigar, I don't know what it was, but it made me like look at Ashton sideways for a while.
It had to have been the aged Maduro. Yeah. That cigar, in my opinion, it is a chocolatey ass cigar. I'd say because it was earlier on in your smoking, journey. Yeah. I think you should revisit that one. That one, in my opinion, it is such a good Maduro. Very underrated. Very, very underrated. You don't get
whiskey notes like that in the beginning, I thought it was gonna be like a flavored cigar, like like chocolate flavor, like a Java or something. That's what I thought, but
yeah.
Nah,
dude, my wife and I were talking about this just tonight, and she's gotten really into whiskey with me over the past few years. She used to try my old fashions I would make, and or different whiskeys, and I'm like, I get cinnamon and apple, and she would just drink it, and she's just like, her face and all that. And over several months to years, dude, she drinks rye whiskey neat now, and she's like, she can taste all of the flavor notes and things, So just like just like anything, that takes time, So definitely worth revisiting some of those cigars for sure.
Yeah,
I do got to give it a shot because the Ashtons I've smoked have been good lately, but still, I'm not gonna lie, I don't smoke that many of them.
Yeah. Roger, what kind of cigar do you prefer, like in terms of like wrap relief, or do you like Maduros, do you like naturals? Like what's kind of your go-to?
Natural and Habano are like my favorite wrapper right now. Connecticut, I don't really like Connecticut too much right now, just because I did a ton of Connecticut's and I started getting a little bit tired of the same type of. I always get this like grassy-ish like hay, like I don't know, like my boss has animals at the shop, and every time they're feeding the animals and you're breathing like the alfalfa, the bells, it's like that smells, that it reminds me of a cigar. It's like I think that's instantly when I'm smoking, that's what I think of when I'm smoking those. Not all of them, right? But
yeah,
some of them, yeah.
I got you. Yeah. Someone was asking earlier in the comments, this was really early on, but they're asking if we've ever seen or experienced people who start off really liking Maduros at first and then transitioning to lighter cigars. I don't really feel like I see too much of that. I'm sure it happens. Some people just like darker stuff, but I don't know. Do y'all see that a lot? Do you feel like?
For me, it's about mood. Like I like all, given, just depends on the time of day, depends on like what I had what I had to eat that day. It just depends on what I'm feeling. Yeah. Sometimes I want a dark ass robust Maduro. Sometimes I want a creamy ass Terra Blanche, and it's like cigars. It just depends on if it's a good cigar or not. Like, if I had the choice between like an Alec Bradley, like Maduro, and like a fucking, an Angel Share, what do you think I'm going to choose?
Alec Bradley.
Alec Bradley, bro.
Oh, for sure. Oh, God, no. Black market, bullshit.
I think it depends on the person, because like that one of my guys from work, like I said, he doesn't smoke Connecticut's, but I think that's because everybody says it's like a beginner cigar, and this dude inhales black and milds, man. Like we're on job sites and he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and he's talking. You could always tell on the phone he's like got like a freaking lung full of black and mild cigar smoke in his lungs, man. It's insane. So he can smoke anything and it's not a problem for him. So
doesn't affect him.
I'm gonna read it real quick. I'm gonna put on a jacket real quick, a sweater, because I'm freaking free.
Do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do. Yeah, that's what Michael did.
Oh damn.
I'm like, dude, I need to put on a thicker jacket. Holy shit.
That was a hell of a transformation, Michael.
Yeah, I know, man.
Wardrobe change. Dude, what are the temps out like there?
It's not really all that cold, but the wind, bro. The wind chill's getting me.
Shit.
Let's see. The gusts are at like 30 miles per hour. So.
Damn. Well, your mic's not picking it up. That's good.
Yeah. It's going to be 51.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It's currently 57 here, so not too shabby. Not too shabby.
I got a question real quick. Someone asking me what my favorite whiskey is. I got a bunch, man. Depends what I'm in the mood for. I'm not gonna like. I love Hibiki Harmony. I like Hibiki 17. Like some of the Japanese whiskeys. I really like this Texas rye whiskey. It's called Cooper Family Rye. They're a real small batch distiller in Central Texas. So I love Cooper Family Rye. I like High West Rye. So yeah, I mean, there's more I could list off, but those are some of my favorite. Cooper Family is one of my favorite, but they're not really well known. It's really good small batch rye whiskey. So makes a great whiskey cocktail.
What do you think about that?
I've had Garrison Brothers as well. Yep, that's a good one. They have a lot though. Some of them I didn't like as much, but they have some good blends too that I like, or some good whiskeys.
Which one didn't you like?
I'll have to look it up. I'll find it. It was just whatever it was just oaky. I mean, just oak.
They got some that are hot, man, from that Texas weather, bro. Like they they get hot.
Yeah.
But it's good it's good Texas bourbon.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. Some of them are, like you said, they're heavy though. So
they're heavy. It's funny too because like I think the last 3 years, the spirits competition that I judged, some of their stuff always scores pretty high.
Yeah. Oh, one more I'll say before I get off my thing is Treaty Oak. Treaty Oak is another really good Texas distillery that makes excellent whiskey. So,
speaking Mandarin to me, John.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. I'm always interested in it. I just have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about. I think it's cool. I think it's another craft art form, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I gotta respect it.
Yeah.
Can't get Buffalo Trace in Connecticut anymore. Why? Weird.
Why not?
Weird.
Why just Buffalo Trace? I mean, the whole Buffalo Trace distillery?
I don't know. That's weird.
Yes, Quincy, smoke that VSG. That shit's gonna be bomb. Espinosa, I don't like them and they don't like me. So
they don't like
that
you.
Can wait.
They don't like you?
No, dude. Remember at PCA, my wife, she went to go to the room to get something, and she was wearing a Cigar Hound Dog shirt. And when she got back to us, she's like, yeah, like there's these guys like towards the front, like the company store with the E, like Espa. I was like, Espinosa. She's like, yeah, they're looking at me really weird. I'm like, oh. so I'm thinking like they probably saw her shirt or like, what the fuck? Like who fuck that guy. Why is she wearing his shirt? And so I'm thinking they probably saw one of my reviews where I was just talking mad shit or just like having a pepper bomb implosion. And they probably don't like me. That's what I'm guessing. Which is funny because I ran into him while I was down in Nicaragua. Eric Espinosa seems like a cool dude. It's just like I can't go with his cigars because they're so freaking pepper heavy, man.
Yeah.
If anybody's having anything to drink in the chat, feel free to tell us what you're drinking tonight, along with your smoke. Being that we just got done going on the discourse of whiskey. That's weird though with Eric and just the Espinosa crew. They seem pretty chill.
It's complete speculation, but I just thought it was funny that they're like looking at my wife weird, you know. But they're probably just thinking like, Cigar Hound Dog. Is that the guy that? Yeah. Is that the guy who like can't handle our cigars? Who's a complete wimp, which I am.
So the Espinosa cigars, I think the only one I've smoked is Murcielago. Have you guys had that?
Yeah,
I'm not.
It's been years.
Is that the Batman
I enjoy
one?
that stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get pepper really in cigars too bad. Like I get there's two different types of pepper for me. It's like the one that just even after you blow out the smoke, like you get like a little bit of pepper like in your mouth and your palate. And it's like, okay, cool. The smoke has a bit of pepper, but then there's like pepper that burns. And the Espinosa, that Murcielago was one of the first ones that like the next day I opened my tablet and I had dropped like the ash on there, and I got like really bad sinus like irritation just from smelling the smell again for me. And I was like, dude, that cigar burned so bad when I was retrohelling, and it tasted good, but it was very pepper heavy. It was crazy.
Yeah,
I can't imagine, man, because that one it screwed up my sinuses for like 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do have to say, Keelan, the Laranja is very good. That's a damn good cigar, and it's not that pepper heavy. That and I had one of their like Las Seis Provincias, that line that they have. It had like a lime green band. It was really strong, but it was very good. The quality of tobacco like shined through as a very good cigar.
Yeah, the Year of the Dragon. The Davidoff Anniversario Limited Edition. Yeah, I don't know.
The Year of the Dragon, I got you guys for sure, John and
good.
Mike.
You're good. I think, I don't know. I got to talk to my Davidoff. Dealer. My direct line.
But yeah, I want to smoke that Anniversario, but it's like over 8 inches. So like I have to find the time. I have to find like half a day to be able to fucking review it, to smoke it.
Yeah, that's why I'm here on this masterpiece. We are an hour in, and yeah, we're still just maybe
just notching away.
Maybe notching just taking up another notch.
How is it so far?
It's actually delicious.
Yeah,
it's like super balanced, very smooth, very easygoing. It's got all the notes that like the traditional Hemingway Maduros have. It's like having 5 short story Maduros.
yes.
In one
essentially.
That's really what it is.
Okay, so Demetrius, he had a similar experience to me with the Royale. But Michael, you like the Royale. You said it overall it was a good cigar.
I like that. I really did. That was my favorite Red Dot Cohiba I think that I've ever had, to be honest. My only favorite.
Dude, I'm not mad. I will never be mad at somebody for having a better experience than me with any particular cigar. I am happy for you. I wish. And you know what? With quality control, whenever people have like drastically different experiences with a cigar, in my opinion, it's more to, especially with Michael, I feel like our palates are fairly similar as far as like what we garner from each cigar. I think there's more difference with each cigar from cigar to cigar than there is between our palates. Like 100%. Cigars, it's a handmade product. Like they will be different. They'll have different leaves of like any particular type of bale or whatever. And I just feel like our palates and what I know about cigars that we both love, I think if I say like the cigars that we had were switched, I think you would have had a much probably worse experience and I probably would have had a better experience.
Probably. And I like the fact that there can be, you know, DJ still does plenty of reviews. John obviously does reviews. Roger, you know, you do overviews, but you also kind of review a lot of the stuff too. And I think that it's good to have some discourse too, you know, with universally when everything is liked, it doesn't add to the complex nuance argument. So, or the nuance conversation. Yeah. So I like there to be a little bit of discourse with it, which is cool. But I actually did really enjoy that Royale. It's nice. Yeah, I also think, did I smoke the same size?
We got it from Tip Top. It was the same. Yeah, it was the same one. It was like a Robusto Extra. It was like a 5 1/4 or 5 1/2 by 52 or 54.
And you'll get that with different people who review the cigars. I had the day after you did your review, Matt, John Crazy Cigar Gringos. He wrote me the right next day. He's like, dude, I just realized me and Matt do not have the same tasting, the same palate at all, man. It's like, because that's my favorite cigar. And it's like, well, there you go, man. You never know. It's just there's different people. I have noticed, do you notice who you kind of like kind of fall in line with as far as liking a certain
flavor?
Cigar?
Yeah. Who your palate vibes with. Cranberry juice. He's gonna say cranberry juice.
Oh no, he said. Oh yeah, there it is, cranberry juice. Yeah. Peter's commenting saying that Night Commander's starting to get him.
Yep.
Dude, it almost had me. It fucking almost had me. And like it's weird because it was a cigar that like the nicotine started like in the first third. I was like, I'm feeling it. This isn't good because it's a big cigar too, but it stayed there the entire way. Like I was like, all right, I'm not keeling over. I'm not, beads of sweat aren't coming down my stupid face. Like I'm starting to like feel like I could finish this out and not throw up. Thank God. But yeah, it was that was an experiential cigar. Like I think in a couple of years that cigar can be amazing.
That cigar's got a really cool backstory as well, right?
Yeah, here like with my channel and like the way I do reviews, I just focus on whether the cigar is good or not. I know like, and that's a detriment to my own channel. That's a detriment to like what I feel like is the most important, whether the cigar is good or not. Like somebody like Michael, you'll go into, and also John and Keelan, you guys will go into the backstories about like, you know, this is why the cigar is named this. This is like the story behind the band. I don't do that shit. I just be like, hey, this is a cool looking band. Look at that. Look at that artwork. That's dope. Like, then I just get into smoking the cigar, you know? But I know that there's a backstory. It has to do with, you know, Ethiopia. I don't know the details, but that's a detriment to myself.
He was
not really. I mean, like most of that stuff you can look up, you know, with just a very quick Google, and it's nice to have the context, but it's also nice to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I find myself when I'm editing sometimes. Sorry. When I'm editing, sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I listed like this fact that I looked up before I started the review. And then I went on for a tangent about something that's completely, you know, it connects me to that in some way. And I'm like, I'm trying to decide, like, do I need to include that or do I not? And sometimes I'll get done with editing and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, this review is like 9 minutes and 30 seconds long. I'm going to have to cut out that little anecdote.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as like for me, as long as it's beneath 12 minutes, like you're good. Right. Like even like for like, cause I know Roger, you have longer form content. That's what you do. You're good at shooting the breeze. That's fine. But like with me, like I don't do anything except talk about the cigar. You know, how many minutes can somebody like sit there listening to some guy just talk about his experience with a cigar? I feel like as long as you're beneath 12 minutes, you're good. You know, hey, but man, Michael, you're talking about something else, which is, you know, that's just added cherry on top, you know?
And that's why I say like trying to fit the real estate in to where I can still keep it manageable, because I would much rather talk about the spirit or the drink or whatever and allocate an extra 45 seconds to a minute and a half for that than some little anecdote about Ometepe this and Jalapa that and so on and so forth. Right?
Ometepe, why'd you have to bring that up? God damn, Michael.
Roger, Texas wants to know how you feel about the Alec and Bradley Gatekeeper. Or Gurkha.
I think it's okay. I don't dislike it. I know you guys don't like the Gatekeeper, but I think it's okay. I thought it was.
I've never had one.
Oh, you had?
I smoked the Gatekeeper. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's not like great, but it's also not like an expensive cigar. So I think it's
Matt is opposed to the Magic Toast.
There we go.
Very. And so is Joe knows. I saw him in the chat earlier. So he's you know, he knows. Joe knows.
He loves that cigar though, right?
He fucking loves that cigar, man. I love EKB, but that's his one downfall right there.
Yeah.
And he knows I'm joking. We bust each other's balls about this all the time.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's fine. We never talk.
Oh, dude, Quincy, you smoking the Ashton, the VSG? Fuck yeah, dude. VSG's money, man. Such an underrated cigar. Because it's been out for forever, people forget about it, but it's so fucking good.
You know, my videos, I try to I always tell myself I'm going to make it short, but I just can't. Like I can't. And I should just, when I talk about the cigar, but I used to also go into like the wrapper and kind of the binder and filler. And I think I did like for maybe 1 or 2 videos, but then it's just, I forget to talk about that stuff, but I used to look it up in the beginning. Normally I just know what it is and I just don't really talk about it much. That's why I do. Sometimes I'm talking to some of the guys in the Legion and they're talking about how some reviewers don't mention none of this important stuff. And I'm like, bro, that's me, man. I don't talk about any of that stuff really. So that's why I do tell people, like, if you, I think kind of, it's not like EKB stings because his are live and uncut, but my videos are just kind of same thing. I'm just depends on what's been going on in my life lately is what I'll talk about. But I don't get a lot of people that watch my videos for that reason. I think they see a 25-minute video and they're like, I'm not going to watch that. So the people that do watch though, it's cool though. Like they're really cool. Always commenting, liking the video. It's I really do enjoy the people that watch the videos and comment and stuff. I'm always surprised with how many people do actually communicate. So it's awesome.
There's no script or blueprint either. everything's organic in the review space, which is kind of cool, especially with cigars being as niche as they are, and just a lot of the traditional channels that have stopped and kind of opened up the doors for us to, especially Matt, to really like kick down the tradition of the 97.568 rating and the the cigar aficionado way of judging cigars.
Yeah, the numbers that make no sense.
Yeah,
every cigar is an A.
This was a 92.5%. This was a 46.58.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger, do you pay close attention to CA at all, to Cigar Aficionado, to like the ratings and stuff like that?
I used to in the beginning, when I used to go and look at which cigars they rated, so I could see if I could pick them up like at the B&M, but that was very early on. I haven't looked at them. If anything, I look at Half Wheel every now and then, but that's pretty much it.
I like Half Wheel.
Half Wheel's the way to go.
Yeah,
they're the way to go, man.
Yeah,
for written content, they're the best.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you, Spencer. That means a lot, man. I'm too fucking boring to tell stories. I'm way too fucking boring.
No, you just know when to not keep talking, man. I have to edit. My stuff's like an hour long. I edit it down like half of it, so that's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do
a big file.
You got to do what you enjoy doing. Make content you enjoy making. I mean, like, for me, it's I'm still switching stuff up. I'm one of the most indecisive motherfuckers. And, Matt will tell you that. I'm always like, should I do this? Should I do that? Or whatever. But it's taken me a while to kind of whittle down, like, content that I feel like is engaging enough, but also stuff that I like to do, because I like to go a little bit more in the background, talk a little bit more. But I also realize for me, I'm pretty boring too. So I can't. I say this all the time. I've said it recently. I can't do like a 20-minute like DJ video. DJ can engage, for a while. I mean, he's entertaining. He's charismatic. I'm a guy, But anyways, yeah.
I'm guessing Z that's satire. So I'm just gonna skip that.
Wait, what?
Oh, Z wrote that CA is a pioneer of cigar culture. Pay homage. Yeah.
Pay homage. That's me. Kiss the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty stringent with their ratings. Like you rarely ever see anything. Yeah. You never see anything above a 92. It's very seldom.
Yeah.
Everything's an 89. It's like, good God, man. Come on. Can you just be happy about something?
But I imagine that, like Spencer has said earlier, that Hound Dog is very honest, right? And he can look at your reviews to make sure that they're going to be real, and he can know that you're saying the truth. But I know that all you guys do that, right? Especially even when you see it, like Michael, you got that box from Freud, and I mean, you were honest. It wasn't your favorite stick, and you didn't have to bash the cigar, but you just were just honest, and that's super hard to do. I thought when I used to watch reviews, you used to think, if you don't like it, just tell them, and if you really don't like something, you go at them hard. But then when you're actually recording and you're editing, you're like, damn, dude, do I really want to do that? And that's that no company sends me anything, but I still don't ever want to. It's hard to do that. I can't imagine if somebody sent me something. I know for a fact it'd be hard for me to even if I hated it, it'd be hard for me to say that. I'd probably rather just not do it.
Yeah. Like Michael, props for you for doing that. We wouldn't expect anything less, obviously. But yeah, like that was an expensive box of cigars that you were sent. You were still like, yeah, it wasn't terrible, but I want to buy more than one. That's just proof of your honesty right there. I fucking love this cigar. It is what it is. Like, it's an Eladio cigar. It's an Eladio blended cigar. So it's whatever. I fucking loved it. But proof, like Villiger, they set in some stuff that wasn't a big fan of. The one that I do feel bad about was Lovely, which is, they're a smaller company. They're a PCA. They're getting their footing. They sent me out a few of their cigars, and I did not like it. And that's the hardest thing to do. It's like when it's a very small company and you're shitting on their cigar, not shitting, but you don't like it, and you're not helping them out. So that's the ones that I feel the worst about. But you're just being honest. If you're being honest and being forthright, you shouldn't feel bad. But still, there's like that part of you that says like, this is a small business, and you're not helping them. It's just, that's like in the back of your head. That's the part I feel guilty about.
Yeah.
No,
and like to put it in perspective, right? So like with the Freud LE and like with the Lavareda today, 2 different experiences. One of them I really enjoyed, palette wise, flavor wise.
Yeah.
For me, for what I like to smoke, that is in line with what I do. The other one, not quite. And I stated in there that like it's probably just maybe not for my palate.
Yep.
The price on them is both a little bit higher than what I would normally look at as like a everyday kind of smoke. And one of them is a limited edition. So I guess that when you throw that name on it, you can get away with a little bit more. But I mean, that was even double what the Beretta is. And it's like, at that point, man, I want to give props to the company for sending it out. But in the same sense, like if I can help somebody avoid that and maybe get into an agape in that line that was a little bit more my flavor, like I would much rather buy 2 agapes over 1 LE. That's just, that's it right there.
Yeah.
And I mean, like going over to this, so I don't believe that had Cigar Aficionado not existed, I wouldn't smoke cigars. I also don't think that if Cigar Aficionado didn't exist, I may not have ever found it on YouTube or doing what we're doing right now. I think that they were definitely a conduit to the industry and a voice, but I think that honestly existed before I started smoking in 2004.
I still think that they're a conduit to the boom in the 90s to draw attention towards cigars, which is huge because the boom in the 90s was fucking huge. Yeah. And it spawned off boutique brands like Tatuaje, Illusione that got started in the early 2000s, which led to where we're at now. So with that, I think the landscape would be drastically different if it weren't for CA.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they created the culture. I think they amplified it. I think they got it out there. I wouldn't say they created it. I think
they put it on the map.
They put it on the map, but they didn't create the culture. The culture was there. They just were the ones who exposed it for the world. So that's how I would put it. But I can respect that, but also still call out and acknowledge how they operate today. That's and it's fine. I'm not hating on them. It just is what it is. You just have to know it about them. That's all. So that's fine.
I just feel like we've been having the same conversation about that since the late 2000s.
Yeah.
And with a small business, especially, I imagine how tough that would be, because I'm genuinely curious because I'm sure there's an impact. I think I commented on one of your videos one time, Matt, where you reviewed the Olivia, the new, the one that just came out, the
Figurino,
the Figurino, and that one, I seen them for sale, and I'm like, oh man, your review was gonna come out later that day or that morning. It's like I'm curious to see how quickly they sell out if he gives it a high rating. So I was waiting for that. You didn't end up giving it like a super high rating, but I was curious to see how much you impacted it, because I've seen that, like, how if you review a good cigar or if Michael's talking really great about a cigar, I go look for it online. They are gone, man. Like, they are gone, and it's like, shoot, this isn't. And
I don't know. I don't know if we have that big of an influence, but I will say, and I don't want to sound big-headed. I don't want to sound big-headed at all. But there's a point in time where I was looking for more Terre Blanches, and I couldn't find them anywhere. I was like, fuck. The word got out. God damn it. It's like, I want that cigar so bad, but I can't find him. Fuck myself. To totally just joking, but is what it is.
That's funny.
I think that it's the biggest compliment that you could ever hear, that you had some sort of influence in any way into like the prosperity of something. And going back to the Freud LE, like I would like to say that every cigar is box worthy. It's just not. Oh shit, my camera died.
We can hear you.
You guys still hear me? Cool.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
can hear you.
Back. We're coming back. Hold on. Back.
This disruptor, it's good though. I like it. It's pretty good. It's not like super great, but I do like it. It's pretty good.
Nice.
This thing's $40, right?
Yeah, 42. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say too, man, on that note, you know, there's a way that you can say it and still be respectful, you know, like you know, about reviews and stuff. But I think for us, I'll speak for myself, but I think for me when I'm reviewing, it's like, who's the priority? And for me, it's the audience, right? It's not the brands. Like, do I want a good relationship with the brands? Yeah. And am I going to like shit on them if I have a bad experience? No. And I'm trying to actually get better in some reviews I've just shot recently about saying like, this is just my palate. This is my experience. You know, I'm speaking for me. Some people might love the cigar, you know, but it's like, at the end of the day, if I'm doing this, I'm not doing it just to pump brands up. You know, I'm doing it to give people honest information from, again, my
buyer's guide.
Huh?
Buyer's guide.
Yeah.
Want to be a buyer's guide. Yeah.
So like, you know, again, I would love good relationships with brands, you know, and dude, there's some brands who don't get offended by that stuff. Like they don't. And then there's some that do. It is what it is. So
enjoy that, DJ.
I know the exact story you're talking about. Yeah, yes, I know the exact story he's talking about. They sell the very, very cool cigar store Native Americans, and they're very expensive, but I really want one.
DJ's out here paying $30 for mid flavored cigars right now. Poor guy.
But in California, you can't smoke at all. When I go, if I go out of town, anywhere I stay, like my wife even knows, like, okay, we're looking for hotel room. She knows to look for one with the balcony because I want to smoke a cigar. And you have to sign like this. You can't smoke on the balcony. You can't do this. If you get caught, it's like $500. And it's like, damn, man, like you can't smoke anywhere in California. And in the beginning, when I barely started smoking cigars, I get like really obsessive in hobbies. And I was still in the stage of as if it was a cigarette. Like, okay, we got a break. I have like an hour. I'm going to go to the parking lot, smoke a cigar. And you never enjoy them like that. Like it's not I shouldn't say you never. I didn't. I remember thinking this cigar sucks. Yeah. Cigar's not that good. And it's not for that. It's not a quick hit that you just go and you got to be able to, for me anyways, right? You got to be able to chill or talk to people or do something. And that in California, it's so hard to find a place to do that because people look at you weird too when you're smoking anything. It's just, yeah.
The coughing Karens. The coughing Karens that walk by just like with the very forced cough. Yep. It's like, come on.
Real quick, I'm just going to touch on this quickly. Someone was asking they're new to cigars and how they should store them if they don't have a humidor. Get Tupperware and throw a Boveda pack in it. That's all you need.
Yeah, and if you don't have a Boveda, if you don't have a Boveda, smoke them as soon as possible, but keep them concealed. Keep them like in a sealed bag or Tupperware. Yep. And smoke them as soon as possible. And happy Thanksgiving, Z.
Yeah.
Have a good one, man.
Thanks, brother.
Thanksgiving, bro. Cigar Side Chats was just, he wrote something, but that guy's super cool too, man. That guy's, it's funny because I'm a pretty like anxious guy and I can ramble on. I speak really quickly. I don't really have a format to my videos. Like I don't plan anything out. But I do like watching content of some people who are very like they're precise with their stuff. He takes, like this guy will I always will smoke a cigar and I'm like, damn, I'm supposed to take a picture of this thing. Like, damn, like now I have to find, that's why all my thumbnails have pictures that I stole from online because I forgot to take a picture of my damn cigar. It's just, that guy's content's so good and really good pictures. It's crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's dope.
Nice. No, I'll check it out for sure.
I'll have to check him out.
Yeah, definitely.
You definitely brought some of your following with you tonight, Roger.
Oh man, that's cool.
They all came out for you, which is very cool.
That's
dope. For sure, man.
Super cool, man.
Dude,
Roger.
Yep.
No, you go, John. You go, John.
Oh, I was gonna say real quick, this double Corona is good, man. This black. I didn't like the first third, but dude, starting in the second third, it started really getting good. So, anyways, I was gonna say this black is good.
I was gonna ask Roger, isn't it fucked how whenever we try to order anything from small batch, the price doubles when you go to check it out? It's so fucked, dude.
I did a review on the on that.
I saw on the Cigar of the Month Club.
Yeah. And everybody, I did it for 1 month and I canceled it. And people were like, dude, I've been waiting. Like, there's a waiting list. I don't know how. I clicked and luckily it was just available. So I didn't know it was like limited, but they send really good cigars. Like last month they sent the Agape and the damn, I can't even remember, but it was and the new the Black Honey. They sent that, the Black Honey, the Agape, something else. Yeah, and those, if you add up the values of those cigars, it is it is a lot more. But in California, it ends up costing
tax. The fucking tax, man.
Yeah, $30.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm going to their to Maximar, which is like the physical storefront of small batch. I'm going there on Wednesday. Just gonna stop on the way home from work. They carry, as you know, because small batch has all their stuff. You know, they carry a lot of good shit. So I'm looking forward to seeing like what they have in stock.
But it'll cost just as much, right? Like if you visit.
Yeah.
I wonder why small batch has to do that, but so many others don't. You know,
they're in California. Anywhere in California, they have to charge you that tax. Any store that's you know that's based in California that sells to a customer in California, you get nailed with that tax. That's why ordering from Pennsylvania, from Florida, they started doing it in Florida too with some places, but yeah, PA, you should be good. Air's like Luxury Cigar, like they don't do that. You're good with them. But yeah, anywhere in California, screwed.
Yeah, damn. It's crazy. I even mentioned in the video, I'm like, I wonder if they send you different cigars based off where you are. Like, because there's no way they're sending these cigars to somebody that pays almost no tax, because it's a crazy value. But they do, because I had friends hit me up and like, yeah, man, we do get those. I got the exact same cigars you did. I thought, man, that's insane. That's awesome.
Check Reddit. That's they, you know, a bunch of people love small batch on Reddit. Also, as being like a newer content creator, what I suggest for you to do is create your account on Reddit as Working Man Cigars and just comment, just engage with people on there. They'll be like, oh, who's this Working Man Cigars guy? Then they'll say like, oh, he's a YouTube channel, new subscriber. That's
cool. Thank you.
Yeah. If like and what I've noticed too, people on Reddit, they don't like to be fed like your content. Say if you just like post your content on there's people that'll be susceptible to it, that'll be open to it, but there's a lot of people on Reddit, they're just like, dude, like, you know, you're just trying to advertise yourself, blah blah blah. You'll get naysayers. But if you just go on there and comment as, you know, as just like a guy just commenting, they'll be more apt to go on and check you out.
That's awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna have to try that.
Mm-hmm.
It is like you say though, that I'm a huge overthinker, and I always think about that stuff, right? Like even again, because the cigars is a bit different, but even reaching out to Michael at first, and I remember thinking, I don't want, or I'll give a better example. With John's video, the Angel Share video. After that video, I smoked the 20th, and I was gonna comment. I was gonna write to you like, bro, the 20th, try that, this and that, and then I didn't write you because I was like, nah, man, it's weird because like I'm a new content creator, and then I'm reaching out to these guys, and they're gonna take it the wrong way, and then I don't want them to think that I'm like doing it because I want something in return. I was like, you know what? And because I'm first and foremost, like I even told my wife, I'm like, these guys screwed up. They're gonna let me on. They're gonna let a fan on. Like, damn, they're gonna let me jump on. No. I'm first and foremost, I'm a fan of your guys' channels, and I wouldn't want like somebody that I like watching the videos and I like seeing their stuff for them to look at me sideways. So I thought I'm not gonna do it, man.
Dude,
So
dude.
In the beginning, I was very careful about like not coming off, you know, the wrong way.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's
dude,
always a worry.
think about it this way, man. Like people who want something, like it's pretty easy to tell. So I mean, like,
yeah,
in my opinion, like, and by the way, I think it's cool that you're taking that like humble approach and stuff like that. Like I kind of felt the same way when I came on. So like, I get it, you know? But dude, if you're just genuine, you just be genuine, you know, like that's the cool thing about the cigar community, whether it's online or in person, whoever. It's just, there's a lot of cool, authentic people. So there's some weirdos too. Some not cool people, but, you know, man, it would come through whether you were being genuine or not, you know, I think ultimately. So, yeah.
I like having the show as a, oh, sorry.
No, you go, Michael, you go.
I was just going to say, I like having the show as like an open platform to kind of showcase different creators as well. Because one of the things that we were asked recently was, you know, kind of how we all came to be. Like, how did the new wave, so to speak, start? And it was something that I said, you know, the next live, we should kind of really get into it. But it happened on EKB's last live that he did on Vintage Cigar. And it's really about, you know, Hound Dog and I, we kind of got started at the same time in 2021 with the channels. And DJ had already had his channel for a year plus at the time. We didn't know each other at all. And one day, Matt and I, we started talking just because we had kind of come into it around the same time and we were doing very similar content in a lot of ways. So being that we were going back and forth as far as to like how we were editing, what we were filming with, cameras, lighting, you know, runtime, this, that, or the other, right? And then also just as cigar nerds, like talking about what we liked, what we didn't like, and then sending each other bombs and sharing that piece of the culture. It was really DJ in his shout out video to like the newest channels to watch and follow for the year that he did that kind of brought everything together. And, you know, with Vintage, I think that it was just kind of organic. It was one of those things where my wife, being half Japanese and being raised in Japan, I found an immediate connection with him and the fact that he was living in Japan because I had just been to Japan in 2019 with her. So it was one of those things where, you know, just like-minded individuals all trying to reach the same common goal, right? And I think that it's great that DJ did that because I don't think that it would have solidified the group the way that it did. And then as John came around as well, it was one of those things where, you know, we were like, this dude seems cool. He seems really humble and great and stuff like that. Like, we should totally invite him on and do this whole entire live thing. And, you know, he's...
You muted yourself. You muted yourself.
I think he knows. He's trying to hook up.
Are we good?
Yep, we're good.
There you go.
Cool. Put this other headphone back. Sorry, the wind was picking up too. I think that John, you know, is it's as if like, you know, everything started at the very same time with everybody. Even though DJ had a channel before us, Vintage had a channel before Matt and I, you know, John came in after Matt and I. You know, it's just like one of those things where everybody seems as though we've been friends for 20 years. Just doing this.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's cool that DJ. Like. Yeah, I was gonna say it's cool that DJ, like, he had you, Michael, he had Keelan and myself all in the same shout out video. And it's like, because he had done his shout out video a year prior too. I'm like, why don't you have these friends already? Like why didn't you, like, you know, have these guys reaching out to you to be like, dude, yeah, it's what's up? Like, thanks for the shout outs. Like, you would think, like, you know, those people, I'm not going to say they weren't appreciative. I'm sure like some of them like reached out and said, hey, thank you for the shout out, blah, blah, blah. But it's like just that one particular shout out video, he got 3 new friends immediately just from that one video, which is sick.
Yeah, it was super cool, man. And it was Matt that put it even on my radar. I didn't know who DJ was. I followed Vintage's channel at the time, but like I said, coming into it, I didn't have any reviewers in my YouTube feed. So it was just like,
Yeah.
I had searched around like, hey, has anybody reviewed this cigar? And I saw like, you know, Tim's channel. I saw, you know, some of the other reviewers that were out there in the specific cigars that I was looking to post when I first started, but I didn't know anybody else. So Hound Dog was really the first one that I didn't even watch Cigar Obsession when he was still on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, so I had no reference point.
Yeah.
Well, it works, right? Because like when you were mentioning, or Matt was mentioning how he gets to meet some of the guys, and it's like, oh, a guy that I talked to on screen, I'm going to meet him in person. You, like from like the perspective of somebody who's been watching for a long time, it's like you think that you guys are like freaking homies, that you guys know each other for so long, and you guys hang out, and you guys go to Vegas and party with Mike all night, and then you guys freaking kick it, and that's what it seems like. So it's cool because you watch it. Sometimes I want to watch like Sokka on an interview, and I'm like, cool, man, this is the new interview. Sokka's talking about Wagashi. Let me see what he's got. And then it's so annoying, man. I shouldn't say that. That's messed up. But it's like some of these like shows where they had him doing a segment, guessing a song, and it's like, dude, it was so, maybe it's just not my style, right?
Kind of corny.
Maybe because
Cringy.
so, like, I'm like, oh my God, man. Like, even Sokka's like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not good at this. Like, I'm not good at music. I'm not. It's like gets the segment, and they play those. They all have the same voice, and they all like, this is brought to you by, you know, Alec Bradley, and their ads are always in between the video, and it's like, dude, it sucks. It's messed up, but I don't like it. So it's cool. This is way different, and it's just cool, man. Because you guys seem like you know each other for a long time. I didn't know until like a few weeks ago. I didn't know John was like a new addition. I thought he'd always been there. You know, I didn't even know DJ started this thing until he wrote that he did that short today, and that's when I barely knew that he kind of was the one that wanted to start like this live stream.
Yeah, man. No, I started talking to Matt and Keelan, and then eventually Michael and DJ, you know, but Keelan was one of the first people who really like encouraged me to do it and like go in on it. So shout out to Keelan, because he really was like, hey man, you should do this, and you know, helped me a lot. But I was such a fan of all the channels, because you know, and these guys know this, but years back is when I started getting really back into the hobby. You know, I still smoked. Like I started back in 2008 and I still smoked, but like I started really getting back into it like a few years ago. So like their channels were helping me catch up basically. Like I was like just eating content, you know? So I was just asking them questions and things like that. And just, I was like, these guys seem really cool. And I think that's the appeal of a lot of their channels is like, for me, I would rather listen to just seemingly good people who are just giving their honest thoughts and are just regular people who, you know, you can connect with, you know? And so, but it was cool, man, how like they brought me in, and it's something I'm super grateful for, you know? So, but it's cool. It just kind of happened, you know, naturally. So, but it does feel that way for us, man, as far as like, feel like we know each other for a long time. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah, man, it's cool. Yeah, that's how it looks across the screen. So it's dope. Yeah, Matt, how cold is it where you're at?
56.
Dude, I'm freezing. You're not. 56 is cold, man. Like,
I
have a space jacket like Mike right now.
I have a space heater.
It's colder here than it is in Tokyo right now. Okay, and we got like 30 miles per hour wind.
Yeah, I just have a space heater at my feet. It's, you know, it's not bad. I'm wearing a flannel with a, you know, a jean jacket, so I'm doing okay.
I'm gonna go
hanging in there. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's interesting.
What was the first cigar? What was your first premium cigar? And how long ago did you get into the hobby?
So it's gonna be 2 years in February, and the first, like, I used to smoke like GM cigars, and that was more of like, oh, like these are like some cheap cigars, and sometimes people would have cigars, and friends would have cigars, or coworkers, and where I work at, a lot of people go to this lounge that's like a casino and it's a lounge. A lot of in the plumbing trade, like there's the supply house owner goes to that lounge. A lot of other companies go to the lounge, and I was never into it, but I had never really gone. But I like I really did enjoy like the whole, like the hobby aspect of it, like the collecting portion of it, right? Like even that, like I love the trading and collecting, and I think that's
Pokemon cards.
Yeah, pretty much just like that, right? Except you consume them, which it sucks when you do. Yesterday I smoked the Plasencia Etafel. Man, that cigar $65. But that cigar was given to me by Eric. Smoke one if you have one. And that cigar, I love the color green, and then it has that red banding on the bottom. I don't think you guys liked it that much, but man, that's one of my favorite cigars of the year for sure. I didn't want to smoke it because when I look at in my humidor, it's like such a cool looking cigar that's up there, and I didn't want to let go of it for that reason. But I mean, you gotta smoke it, and then it was great. Like, it's one of my favorite cigars. But the first premium cigar that I smoked was a Romeo and Julieta when I was on vacation, and it was a Cuban. I don't know which one it was, but that cigar I fell in love with. And I think it was more, I had mentioned this before in one of my videos, where it wasn't so much like the cigar itself, it was the whole experience, right? I'm a really anxious guy. I'm a really nervous guy. I didn't used to be like this, right? This happened when I had kids. When I had kids, everything changed for me. And I'm sure John can relate, where I became like a super nervous person. Like I remember thinking I have to be around to protect my kids. I have to be around. And it sounds corny. You hear this stuff from people and it's like, come on, man. Like, it's not that everybody has kids. Like, it's not a big deal. Something happens where it just changes you. And I started getting anxiety, like really bad panic attacks, just for no reason. Damn. So I'm like an anxious person, but we were on vacation and my son, he had gone to the hospital a few times because they didn't know if he had asthma, and he was having like a little asthma attack right before bed. And I'm like, dude, we're gotta fly out of here now. Like, we're taking my kid out of here. There's nowhere to take him to like a pharmacy. There's doctors there, right? But mentally, I'm just like, I want to get my kid out of here. But my sister, my niece has asthma, and she had like an old inhaler. We gave him the inhaler. He was fine. So he was sleeping okay. And I remember we had bought these cigars, and they were Romeo and Julietas. They're Romeo and Julietas, and just because my brother-in-law really likes to smoke cigars more for pictures, this dude like does photo ops with the cigar in the jacuzzi and like that, so that's why he got cigars. But my kid was still like, he was okay, but it's really difficult for me to calm down after like my kid had an episode. So I'm like, everybody's drinking and I don't drink. So they were having a good time. And I'm like in the bathroom, like, man, I can't calm down. Like, my hands are shaking. I can't. And I don't want them to see that I'm nervous, because my wife looks to me to make sure things are okay. I'm like, no, we're good. No matter what, I'm going to make sure we're okay. I don't care if we have to drive out of here. I'm going to make sure we're fine. So I don't want them to see me all nervous. But I went outside trying to play it off, lit up the cigar, and it was a super beautiful place. Like, my brother and my brother-in-law own company. So we were like in this huge mansion overlooking like the beach. There was wild horses. And so started smoking that cigar, and I just felt like a like crazy relief, where it's just, everything's okay. Like, why am I tripping? We're on vacation. My son's breathing fine. Like, there's doctors here. There's like, why am I stressing? So ever since then, like, the cigar thing was like an ultimate relaxer for me, where it just instantly brought me back to, this is what you do to relax. And so I think I fell in love with like that experience. So then it went over to cigars.
That's
the
dope,
kid thing
dude.
Is crazy, man. The kid thing is crazy. I don't even like getting on roller coasters anymore, man. I'm like on a roller coaster, and I'm telling you, I'm an illogical nervous person. Where like, I'm on a roller coaster, I'm like, this is fun, but if we die, this is not worth it. I'm like, dude, like, I have to be around to take care of my kids. So it's again, it's an illogical like feeling, but it just started. I didn't think I would be like that. It just became like that. So
survivor mode, man. That's all that is. That's just survivor mode, bro.
We were talking about roller coasters this week, and we found out that Hound Dog doesn't even like roller coasters and doesn't have kids.
I don't
don't feel so bad anymore.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of roller coasters. I don't like the loop-de-loops. Fuck the loop-de-loops. Fuck the corkscrews. I don't like being upside down. I can do like the dips and shit, but like if you like have me hanging upside down, fuck that. No thanks.
Dude,
we gotta get a short
loop-de-loops, and like everything from your like the top of your chest goes down to the pit of your stomach. That is
fucking love it.
I
fucking love it,
dude.
I fucking love it.
You know what? Because I was at Disney. I was at California Adventure, and we were on that California Screaming. Now it's called something else. It's some fucking Marvel shit, I think. But we had eaten at the Pizza Port in Disneyland, and we had walked over to California Adventure and got on that roller coaster, and I nearly lost it. Like all that pizza was about to be on the back of the head of the person in front of me. And like ever since that, I have not liked roller coasters. I'll do them, but I don't like them. It's kind of like reviewing an Alec Bradley. I'll do it, but I don't like it.
And you don't know if that throw up's gonna go to that guy's head. That might end up right back in your face.
Yeah, it could be all over me. It could be behind me. I fucking fine know. Yeah,
so
man.
If everybody goes to Matt's Patreon and blow his Patreon up, we'll put him on a roller coaster with a fucking peppery cigar, just to see how that. Just show him support in Patreon.
Oh,
we'll make that shit happen.
A black market on like Superman or whatever the fuck at Six Flags.
Let's get that shit, yo. Go to his Patreon right now. We'll make that shit happen.
Jesus, man. No, man. Put me on the teacups.
Fuck it. I will pay money to see that shit. I will pay money for that. That shit would be awesome.
God damn. All right, I'm gonna go whiz real quick. Be right back.
Stick on the teacups, going crazy on the teacups more than on roller coasters.
Man, yeah, those teacups will fuck you up. That gravitron
those
thing.
Teacups will fuck you up.
Hell yeah, they will, dude. I can't do that stuff anymore, man. Like I get there was one flight years ago, and we got some turbulence or something, and I was laid out for a week after that. And that had never happened to me in my life, dude. I like flew all the time. Like I went on roller coasters all the time. And then after that one trip now, man, I get motion sickness every time now. Like so I would die on a roller coaster, dude, if I went on it now.
Before I go, did I tell y'all the weed story? Did I tell y'all that? Like, okay, so check it. Before I get out of here, y'all gonna love this shit. So what we did, there was like a little carnival in my neighborhood. It was like an apartment complex. So they had one of these apple cups. So you get in the apple and you just spin it around. And that was part of the, it was for the kids. So when everybody left, I guess the company couldn't come and pick that one up in time because it was a heavy ass machine. So I got my friends. I was like, yo, let's all roll up. We're going to roll up our best stuff. We had, it had to be like 6 or 7 of us. Everybody had one blunt. So we got into this machine and we started spinning. And we would not stop spinning until all the blunts went out. So we just passed it around. Whoever didn't have one, we spun. And we spun. And we spun as fast as we could go. And we just smoking. Everybody just, when we got out, it was just smoke billowing out of this thing. And we just like passed out on the grass. Everybody just laying there looking at the clouds and shit. And for years after that, like my oldest daughter would want to get on my back and spin around. I couldn't spin around because I would get dizzy just from spinning. Yeah. Like that's how long we sat in that motherfucking smoke. Like we out of our minds with that shit. I still love roller coasters after that, but that like to that moment, like spinning just still fucks me up from that shit. Man. And I was like, damn, I had to be like 16, 17, something when I did that. Kids, don't do this at home. I'm just, it's just a funny story.
Yeah. Keelan, did you go out and get an apple, man? You look all fixed.
Nah, man. I don't know what the hell is happening, man. I just had to take some time and chill in the chat with everybody. So
yeah,
I just wanted to come back on, man. Show Roger some love. And when I come back, he's not here. So sorry about that. But.
Yeah, it's all good.
That's fine.
I'm back. I heard your
story.
Had to get his... That's funny, man.
Your jacket too.
Dude, the thing with the I get super dizzy and lightheaded now. And it's like, I'm too old for that. I always tell my son always wants to get on roller coasters a little bit now, right? Because he's like more of he doesn't like to do crazy roller coasters. But I can't. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be dizzy walking the rest of this way. I'm gonna do one roller coaster and I'm gonna be walking around feeling like crap the rest of the time. So like, no.
Oh man, what is the point of going to these amusement parks, man? If you can't wild out and have fun, dude. Like I'm trying to get on the craziest shit possible.
Oh man,
whatever's out there, I'm with it.
Yeah, I have a fear of heights, but I'll tell you what, man. If I'm going and I'm spending the money to go to Disney or wherever, I'm freaking myself out. Like, let's go.
If you got to pay $6 for a fucking lemonade and $30 for a fat bottom belly, man, you might as well go out there and have a ball, man.
Bro, I want that $30 turkey leg and I want to throw it up all over.
That shit happened. That shit happened to me on a ride, yo. Like it was those boats, you know, those boats that go up and over. So we were doing that shit, and the boat went up and over, and somebody that was behind us just threw up on the dude that was beside me. It just came raining down.
Oh man,
it might have been Matt. I don't know. It could have
been
or
maybe.
Dude, at my 5th birthday party, we went to like one of those little indoor kind of amusement, like really small amusement kind of places. Bro, you talk about, someone mentioned in the comments like chain reaction. Bro, I mean, almost every kid in my birthday party just lost it.
Oh, it was like Stand By Me. You remember that? Y'all ever see Stephen King Stand By Me?
No,
when they had the pie eating contest.
Been years.
That's such a classic scene. Yeah,
Okay.
so they're doing the scene where they're doing the pie eating contest, and then when the one dude throws, it was like a chain reaction that went around everybody at the party. That shit was amazing, bro.
So that was my birthday party, and so it got
so bad. For sure.
Dude, the lady who was like our birthday hostess attendant person there, you know, she got sick. She got to go home because it was so bad. Like, and I'm like 4 years old, you know, so I'm crying as my birthday party. You know, I'm like, can we just go home? And my mom's like, we can't go home. And dude, it was a disaster.
$8 for a baked potato. Hell no. That's what, like, I will sneak food into an amusement park before I pay that shit, bro. That's a wild ass story, John.
I don't go to Mexico much, but when I was younger, we used to go to, when my grandparents were still alive, we used to go to Mexico every now and then. And we went to this ghetto ass carnival. That was like a ghetto carnival. And one, like that little fake Superman ride, some people got stuck. And then there was another roller coaster where they were going, and you just heard like people got stuck on it. And that was the second ride that got stuck. And then you heard that like some of it came apart. They were trying to do trial runs without having anybody on to see if it would correct. I don't know. They were trying to dial it in, and the way they connect them that came apart. So the carts, like the roller coaster carts, they hit straight down into where it separated. It hit straight down to the concrete. They just like kind of crushed together. It wasn't like it's not a super quick roller coaster, so they didn't like. It just looked like they crashed, got stuck, and I thought, screw that, man. So I always have this weird.
I'd never get on anything at those amusement parks, like those little hood ones, like you talking about. Never. I won't buy shit.
Especially in Mexico, bro. Don't do
no way, brother. Peter's done from the Nike man.
Peter's on the mend.
Yeah, struggling.
Hey fellas, I just wanted to say what's up before I got out of here, man. Y'all, I gotta go do the father thing, man, just like Roger. So nice. I will catch y'all in the next go round. Roger, man, thanks for coming on with us, bro. It was good talking to you, man.
Thank you, KB. Appreciate it.
Do what you gotta do, KB. Have a good day, man.
Everybody in the chat, catch y'all later. Be safe.
See you later, bro.
Later, KB. EKB's cool, man. I was mentioning in another video that he had he was going over some stories of like of Japan, right? Like some of his experiences, and he'll highlight the good experiences, right? He doesn't have to go all out and say how like he doesn't have to go all out and say that he's, you know, a happy guy and it's like positivity and stuff, but you could see it from his stories, like in how he views life, right? And I always like that about him. It's like he doesn't have to go through and say it directly, but indirectly through his stories and stuff, and through how he views his experiences, even negative experiences. It's like, man, like that's he's a dope guy.
Yeah,
glass half full, glass half full kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like, you know, we've had a lot of lengthy conversations this past week just in our little private group chat talking about everything, man. And some of the stuff that he shared with us about his upbringing and just what it was like growing up and stuff. I mean, just a really awesome dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really awesome. Happy to have him as a friend.
Absolutely.
What do you
dude, Raj, I lit up that Carlos and Maria, that new Freud. Or I guess it's not a Freud cigar. It's just like under their umbrella. There's like Freud isn't anywhere on this cigar. It's just the Carlos and Maria.
Okay.
Cool. Nice.
What
else did you guys lit up?
I know what you're smoking.
I lit up a bestseller. We now pass by the untold story, and we are almost at our way to the between the lines size.
How is it, man?
Solid, man. Solid. I've always enjoyed it. You know, like I know that a bunch of people, I try to get to everybody, but as we were talking about kind of what was Roger's like entry point into the industry and into the culture and the hobby, you know, Matt and I have talked about and espoused how much we appreciated the short story in the Hemingway line back in the day. That was one that really did it for me. For a very long time, I used to always have a box on hand, and it was a daily driver, you know, especially when it was under $4 a stick. Like that thing was incredible, you know. And like as a new cigar smoker, you didn't have to worry about getting too big of a nicotine buzz. You didn't have to worry about spending your whole entire day smoking it. You just, you know, you got the experience and you knew what to expect.
Yeah, for sure, man.
It doesn't get boring with it being that long?
This guy, no, honestly not, because I've always had a special place in my heart for the experience that you get from the Hemingway line, just in general, whether it's natural, Maduro, it could be a between the lines, you know, like they're all very familiar to me. Over the last 20 plus years of smoking, I mean, there's probably never been a year that I haven't smoked a Hemingway. So at least one, whether on camera or not.
You're just going home. You're just going for, you know, to visit the parents when you smoke that cigar.
That's it, man. And they're not yelling at me about, you know, taking out the trash.
No, it's a nice visit. It's a nice, pleasant visit.
Mm-hmm.
I lit up the Mil Diaz.
Ah, nice.
Nice.
You know, I've smoked this cigar twice, and I haven't liked it the other 2 times that I had smoked it.
Really?
I think, the reason was like the first time I ever smoked it was I got it in Vegas, actually. And I smoked it straight from the shop, and it was super squishy, but I didn't know back then. So I just thought this tastes like that.
Yeah.
The taste that some cigars have, that nasty like aftertaste, which I imagine was the low RH or the high RH. And then I smoked it one more time after you guys were reviewing it and saying how good it was. I was like, cool, got it. But it had sat at my mailbox because I bought these online, and it sat in my mailbox for I don't know how many hours in the heat. And then when I got it, I smoked it the next day. Didn't like let it rest, didn't anything. And again, it wasn't good because of that. But this one, I actually dry boxed it, had it the right RH, and it tastes like a completely different cigar.
There you go.
It's crazy, man. Yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah, dude.
The burn is straight. It's just.
That's cool, man. Yeah. And Spencer, I'm smoking the Osgener, the Bosphorus, I think this is it the B50, whatever, which one's the Robusto. But this is the one with the new Habano 2000 wrapper, which, dude, when I first had this one, when they switched over to EP Carrillo for these things, I didn't like this one as much, but dude, in the first third, it's a different cigar, man, with some months with rest. It's really good so
Age.
far. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Age is helping it.
My guess is when they switched, I'm sure they had to really ramp production to get these things out when they switched over factories. So I wonder if that played into it, because this is a really enjoyable cigar right now.
I've always liked the Bosphorus, but I've only smoked them like when they were from a while ago, and I know they said that they're making them at a different place now, right?
Yep. Yeah, they switched from were they at Pichardo before? Was that it, Matt?
Pichardo, yeah.
They switched from Pichardo to La Alianza, which is EP Carrillo, and they switched from Sumatra to Habano 2000, the wrapper on it. And I got it like right when they came out with them, and I think they were young. when they because I'm sure again they had to get them out there, you know.
Yeah.
You think it makes a difference now that they're made somewhere else?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
they changed the blend. They changed the blend.
Exactly.
Oh, they did. I didn't know that. Oh shit.
Yep. That's what I was saying.
You know what?
These used to be Sumatra seed wrappers, and then when they switched factories, they switched to Habana 2000. And so yeah, no, they changed a lot.
Oh, no way.
So, but yeah, man, several months later, this thing's damn good.
I gotta try it. I've only smoked the older ones and really liked it, but I'm really excited because I got from Matt. I got a Supreme Leaf, but you mentioned it's one of the ones that came out originally, and I used to love the Supreme Leaf, but when I bought it like almost a year ago, and I remember thinking this is a really good cigar. I smoked it twice; it was good. Then after that, they were always bad, and I smoked it another 2 times or 3 times, and I didn't like it. But they were all newer ones, and I know they didn't change the blend. I don't know if they started making them quicker because they got popular. I don't know what happened, but it's not the same. Dude, so I'm excited about smoking that one and seeing.
This is what I'm hearing from a lot of people, man. Matt said this to me too, but I did a review of the Supreme Leaf, the new Toro, the straight Parejo. And some people were commenting the same thing, man. Like some people get them and they love them, and then it's like a quality control thing. It seems like you kind of don't know what you're going to get with them. But the one I had was the best one I've had, because before that I had the box pressed, like the Torpedo, and those didn't hit me. But then this new Parejo one that Matt didn't have a good experience with, I ended up having a pretty good experience with it.
Oh, no way. Can you guys still hear me or no?
Yep.
We can hear you.
My camera died. So let me switch off to my phone because my camera's dead.
Yep.
No problem, man.
It's funny when Roger and I were talking earlier about the whole entire camera dummy battery thing. I was telling him about the dummy battery that I put in my camera, and that was why my camera went off, because I forgot to load up my dummy battery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vital. Dummy battery is vital.
Michael, you look like you're in Canada or something, man.
Dude, it feels like I'm in Canada. This shit came out of nowhere. Wasn't ready.
Desert gets cold, man.
Desert does get cold, dude. I mean, I feel bad for the guy in PA that was talking about 28 degrees, but yeah.
Yeah, and Peter, I forget his last name, starts with an M. He was saying, "Oh, this is cool." He was saying he's in Minnesota, I think. Can only imagine the temperature there.
Nah, man. You need to have the other Peter's smoking tent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, that tent's legit.
That would be key.
Mm-hmm.
I need.
Yeah, Peter's got the setup.
Quincy's question about half Coronas. I'm very basic when it comes to cigar sizes. I just a 6x52 Toro. That's what I prefer. I don't really do anything like the smallest I'll go for myself if I'm not reviewing is a Corona Gorda. You know, like 5.5, 6x46, 6x48. That's as small as I typically go. Say like the Davidoff. They have the Davidoff Winston Churchill petite Coronas, which is essentially like a half Corona. Those are very good.
I like to think that the Drew Estate like little Liga ones that they have, those are actually like get a little bit of the taste, maybe for like 5 minutes, but that's really it. Like
are those different? Are those different from the Papas Fritas?
Yeah, those are actually like in a tin. Like here, I'll grab one.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yes,
me,
Peter.
Oh, what's up?
No, it did. I was just going to comment on Peter's commented on a comment, but yeah, it's vital for Peter where he's at.
Yeah, for sure. I like smaller cigars sometimes. My favorite size is Corona Gorda. I don't like going too much smaller. Every now and then I'll enjoy a petite Corona. Is a half Corona smaller than petite Corona? I forget. I think it is. I think
it is. As far as like the naming conventions, I have no idea, dude.
But I don't like going like Lonsdale's usually as small as I go. So
yeah, so like these guys.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you get.
I wonder what's the difference between what's the difference between that and a Papas Fritas? Are those smaller?
These are much smaller. This is a little tiny guy.
Okay.
So like next to my masterpiece that we have here.
Oh wow!
Wow! It barely is. You know, it's like 3 by 33 or something like that. Like they're super tiny.
Those are probably machine made.
Yeah, with short filler or something like that. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, to answer your second question, they do taste different. I mean, size matters if that's what you're asking. If they taste different, smaller,
regardless of what they tell you.
Yeah, they taste different for sure. Smaller the better, though. So, just kidding.
No comment, John. No comment.
I'm trying to get you going.
Gotta watch what we say now.
Oh, right.
Jeez Louise.
Right. Sorry. Starting drama again. Shit.
Got another Minnesota.
Minnesotian.
Soda.
Hey man, if you can heat up that garage enough, then go for it, dude. That's the way to go. No backyard patio smoking for you for a while, I'd imagine.
I want to get one of those solo stoves that you can do the little bonfires in, because in Texas and Dallas it can get pretty cold in like January and February. So I might because I remember I think we talked about this last time about like my second review. I was like, this sucks. So
yeah. Robusto Gordos are bomb. Robusto Extra, like a 5.5 by 52, 54. Those are bomb. Actually, when Roger comes back, I want to ask him about the Istanbul, because he sent me that cigar and I reviewed it, and that thing was freaking money. That was a damn good cigar. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. I think Luciano makes that for him. Dalay, D-A-L-A-Y. Dalay Zigarren. Company out of, I think, Germany. I'd imagine. I'm not somewhere out of Europe. He had this cigar made for him, and it has like Turkish filler in the filler leaf, and it's really fucking good. Yeah,
that's dope.
That's interesting.
Turkish, Dominican, and Kentucky air cured tobacco in the filler, and it's so fucking good. Yeah. Wow. It's real, and the band is so beautiful too. I know you don't smoke the band, but it's gorgeous.
It sounds like it would be spicy, like when I hear Kentucky fire cured and Turkish, Turkish.
It was, it was creamy as all hell. Nice. Not too spicy. It was so fucking good. And it's weird because it's Luciano, and I believe there's no Nicaraguan in it.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was very unique.
Hearing Turkish tobacco, that reminds me of like pipe tobacco, like Latakia or something like that over in like the Mediterranean. That's cool, man. I'll check that out.
If you see it, I did see what you got. Hey, buddy. How's it
What's
going?
Up, dude? Aw.
That's my pity.
Yeah. Very sweet.
Yeah.
How you doing, little one?
Cigar Pitbull.
Oh, damn, you know
So
what?
sweet.
I got it.
Cigar Pitbull. But yeah, if you see that cigar, I know cursory research. I saw. Oh look, Jupiter. It's like right in the middle of the sky right now. Tight. It's cursory research. You can find them at a small batch.
Okay. You got to buy like 5 of them.
Yeah, 5 packs only. Yeah, but I'll be going there on Wednesday, so I can pick up a couple of singles. But Roger, yep. Have you had that Istanbul that you sent me?
The Istanbul, yes, I did.
What do you think?
Okay. So it was I didn't like it too much because I ended up again, like, I've been having a ton of issues with my humidor, and I had them in a humidor that I made, and for being like thick-headed, I wanted them in there, and so I had this whole stupid process where, like, I even John commented on that video. Oh, it's a video I asked you guys for help, because it's like I would put it in my humidor, then from there I would move it into like a second humidor. Then from there, I would dry box it, and sometimes it would work. And I was frustrated because sometimes if a cigar's not good, I want to grab another one. But if none of them are good, I'll just like grab the one I think is best. And I did that with the Istanbul, and it was okay. It got better towards the end, but the first like almost 2/3 of it I didn't like because it was just it wasn't right. So it kind of just
dude, the one that you sent me, I reviewed it on Friday. It was money. Like it was.
Was it nice?
I'll just say it smoked like it looked, and it looks beautiful. Like that band is gorgeous. Like the aesthetics, the construction's near perfect. That was, I would say, give that cigar another shot. If you have more, like definitely give it another shot.
Yeah, it's a Luciano cigar, right? I love Luciano.
Yes, and I was saying this to the guys because Luciano, he makes a lot of Nicaraguan tobacco made cigars. I don't think there's any Nicaraguan in that Istanbul.
No, it's a Turkish.
Yeah, Turkish, Dominican, and Kentucky air cured in the filler.
He was just at this anniversary party on Thursday that I went to at my local store in Fuego, and he was sitting there, and he was taking off the wrapper of the Maria Lucia along with one of his other lines, and he was going over like the accordion style that he uses in the binder, so that the tobacco has enough room to kind of expand as it has a lot of Nicaraguan tobacco in it and it holds moisture. So in order to make sure that it's packed enough, but also like give it room in order for the moisture to kind of work together. That's why he likes using that accordion style binding as opposed to in tubo, right? So like he was just saying that in tubo, you tend to have more construction issues because the tobacco can't expand the same way. It doesn't have as much give to it. And then he was going over like different soils, different seeds, and how like the seed really is determining a lot of it as opposed to the soil, unless you get to a place like unless you get to a place that has like a lot of volcanic soil or something in very high elevation where the rainfall can kind of like influence the soil much greater, because everything's on a very similar elevation country to country, except for those volcanic areas and like below sea level type things. It was just very interesting to listen to, because you're man, this guy's forgotten more than I'll ever know, most likely.
What cigar did you just review of his, Michael?
The Good Trouble, ATL.
The Good Trouble. It was like, maybe I was watching an old review, but you're saying like, you're talking about that experience, and you were saying that, you know, he was saying it humbled you because he was saying things like he was, just going off information, about things that you're just like, what the fuck? Like, because with you being in the hobby since 2008, you think you have a lot of experience, but you're just realizing like, oh shit, this guy knows. This guy's gonna forget anything near that I'll ever learn. I forget what the fuck review was that?
We were talking about something, and I was saying that like I had a conversation with him about it, and it was just like the amount of information. I forget what we were talking about. We were talking about like,
could have been in the group chat.
Yeah, I think it was just in the group chat, really. Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about it. And I was just like, man, like having a conversation with that dude for 5 minutes, like mind blowing. Yeah. I was talking about how like master blenders, right? Like we think of it as like, oh, they're just adding the ingredients, this, that, or the other thing, and it's like,
no, it was your Unicorn Hunters Club. It was that you're talking about Luciano and that, yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, when I did the unboxing this week.
Yes. So sorry to interrupt, but I just realized it's epiphany. I just realized where it was from.
Yeah.
That Maria Luciano cigar is such a good cigar. I freaking love that cigar.
That's a good stick. I reviewed it. I reviewed it and liked it.
Sorry, you guys. I'm just adjusting my phone here. My wife texted me. She's like, "You look like crap like that."
It's all good.
I don't know.
Stratosphere roller coaster. The Stratosphere still has some activities at the top of it, but yeah, the roller coaster, some of the rides I think have changed. They still have the rickety one at New York, though. If you want a true New York experience in Las Vegas, that's about as close as we get. Busted ass roller coaster.
Yeah, man, that thing looks sketchy though. Like,
yeah,
the Stratosphere stuff. Oh my god,
it is all
man.
the way.
This Carlos and Maria is picking up. At the start, it was kind of like so-so, but now coming in the second, third, it's getting money.
Nice, man.
Very syrupy. Yeah. It's made at a Tabacalera Ventura, I think. Because remember how we were talking about like thinking that all Freud stuff was made at Aladio's factory? Yeah. The Super Ego and also this one now are, Ventura.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I think in my review I thought it was Eladio, so I'll have to go back and check and maybe make an edit or something. But
maybe just like in the description or whatever.
That's what
just
I mean.
Just add something. Yeah.
But yeah, wasn't a fan of that one. Dude, the only thing with these boss verses that and I'm enjoying this one a lot more, dude, when I first got it, like I said, but the burn line on these things, man, just suffer. So every time.
Yeah. And it doesn't help having a box press either.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's so good.
There we go.
Roger, we got you. Looking good.
There we go. Thank you.
Roger, have you smoked a woody yet?
No.
Do you want to?
What is that?
It's like a 3-foot long cigar. It takes like 8 hours to smoke.
It's an Asylum cigar? One of those
No, it's not Asylum.
It's Oscar.
Yeah.
It's Oscar Valladares.
It's like 8 hours, legitimately.
No,
yeah.
I heard you guys talking about. I heard you said you had a friend, right? That she said she wanted to smoke a cigar like that, right?
Well,
like
yeah,
she was
said
gonna get you one of
buy
those or something.
me,
Yeah,
and I thanked her for not buying it for me, but I think I still.
Yeah, I bet.
Sounds.
Do you guys have any plans for like? Do you guys have channel goals and stuff or are you just making content, or do you guys plan some of this stuff out?
No.
It's it's pretty much just like put out for me. It's just putting out reviews and just it's just fun to see the subscriber count go up. So that's a motivating factor. But also it's just like we have friends like all these guys on here that we just create content for and with. And,
later, Pete.
Later, Pete. See you, man.
Later,
I think
Peter.
a Cigar Carpenter. He's out too. So
Later, Carpenter.
Thanks for checking in, man.
All right, guys.
Yeah, it's just fun to do this and to just to have a voice and also just to help people find cigars that they could fall in love with. Like if you fell in love with them while reviewing, and help them avoid the dog rockets. Like if I can get people off of the M81 and the black market. Like the job well done for me. Like if I could save people's pallets and save people's money from digging into those cigars, I did a good job that day. It's just I just want to help people, and it's fun to nerd out. Like we're all nerds. Like nobody does this. This is people who are watching this, especially this late in a live stream. You're a nerd. Sorry to tell you, but you're a fucking nerd, and I love you for it because I'm the same exact way. It's a very, very niche thing that we do here. Like people, the vast majority of people who smoke cigars smoke them very, very passively. It's something that they do once a month, like once or most people. So like there's a few percent of people smoke cigars, even fewer percent of people smoke cigars at the frequency and also the variety that we smoke. Dude, no. Smoke one if you have one. Dude.
What did you say?
Dude. Dude.
And he's picky,
is what it
picky.
is.
Matt, you're just gonna
but
you're just gonna focus your whole channel on anti-M81 content and
here's the thing. And I asked Roger about CA earlier about Cigar Aficionado and like how close you paid attention to it, because in my opinion, there's a chance that CA is gonna rate that cigar high up on their Cigar of the Year list because of the notoriety with Metallica, because it's a business decision to rate that cigar highly. And if that happens, I will be loud about that. I will be very, very vocal about that. It just goes to show like everything that we kind of already know about what we kind of speculate like about CA's business plan right now.
Yeah.
You know,
it makes sense too, just because what they do in terms of just trying to bring popularity to cigars. I mean, that's kind of just the driver for them in a big way. So, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised at all, like you all said, if that happens. But Roger, also too, were you asking if we like plan around each other in terms of our channels? Was that kind of your question too?
No, like in a way, but then also because that's a good question too. But like as far as doing this, right? Because this, you have kids, right, John?
Yeah, I got 3 kids.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. Like I always have to like, you know, sometimes my wife's bipolar when it comes to that. She's like, sometimes she's cool with this, sometimes she's not. It all depends. Like how sometimes I'm planning to review a cigar and I'll come home from work and the look on her face will be like, I'm not going to be able to review that cigar today.
Roger, they all are. Believe me. Listen, okay, hold on. This is for all the guys out there about to get married. All right. Anything that takes attention away to a certain extent, right, is going to make them question why it is that you love it so much, right? And I think that, you know, proof's in the pudding. They see the hard work and the effort go into it, and they're like, wow, you know, this is genuinely something that they enjoy. They appreciate it afterwards.
Yeah. Roger, what you need to do, man, is get King Cheetah.
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Get to the point where a company wants to send you a smoker, and then you start making them dinner with that smoker. Yes. They will then.
Gotcha. Then it's like, see, look, it paid off.
There you go.
Like, gotcha.
There we go.
Make some pulled pork. Make some brisket, make some smoked salmon out of the fruits of your labor, and you will get there.
Yeah.
But man, for me with kids and stuff, I'm not pumping out like Matt is, dude. Like I can't, you know, or I choose not to. But yeah. So for me, like it kind of works out where my wife, she goes and hangs out with her friends Friday night because she stays at home with our girls, and so for me, that's my night to like review a cigar or chill. I might have another cigar throughout the week to just enjoy myself. I try to get at least 1 a week. If I can do 2 a week, I will, but I know at least Friday night I'll have time to that, you know, so I kind of have a dedicated time to do it, but I don't necessarily have like some content plan or because like, dude, sometimes I'm not in the mood for a certain cigar and I don't necessarily want to review it if I'm not in the mood for it. Sometimes I will, if it's like a new release, you know, I'll just do it. But a lot of times I want to review what I'm in the mood for. So I don't like plan ahead super far. You know, I know some new releases coming out, so those I'll prioritize sometimes, but yeah.
You know, the reason I ask is because I'm right now it's been in the beginning I was starting to smoke cigars and it was cool, man. Come home and it's like a relaxing thing, and then it's not that big of a deal. My wife used to sit outside and drink something while I'm smoking a cigar, and it was cool. But then I also can go way too heavy on hobby sometimes. And again, my wife she can be a little nutty, but she's also like a voice of reason sometimes. And she was telling me, don't overdo it because you're going to start getting over it. So I always worry about that. Like I'm worried that this will become something not enjoyable. Because it's like, I don't really want to review cigars. And I was watching Cigar Brother. He's another creator. And he was like, he didn't put up anything for a while because he's like, I was burnt out with cigars. I lost the passion for it. And I'm so paranoid of that happening to me that because cigars for me is also like a big thing. I don't drink. I don't, you know, I remember Jonah was asking you, Matt, in the past, like when he was on, And he's like, oh, you don't drink because you like an addict or something, or you have addiction problems? You said no, but I have addictive tendencies, right? I've had addictive problems in the past. So for me, I always wanted to come home and be like, I wish I could drink, or I can drink. I do sometimes. I just don't like it. And in California, a lot of people smoke weed. I can't smoke weed because I just don't like it. So I come home and it's like cigars are so chill. This is my thing to like relax. And at the end of the day, when I have a really hard day, especially recording, I record a lot of videos. I don't put them out. Like I record long videos that I never even start editing them because I just delete them. But I enjoy rambling to the camera and talking about stuff that nobody would care about. So it's like, for me, I don't want to lose that. And then I always wonder, damn, like I don't want to start planning. I have to get these videos. I have to do this because then I don't want to get over the hobby because I don't want to stop enjoying cigars, you know?
It's a balance.
Kind of why
it's a balancing act, man. That's why you and I were chatting the other day. It's why I told you, like, dude, make time to enjoy them without the cameras and the lights and all the shit. Like, because at some point, if you're only doing reviews, you're actually like, you're starting to not become a hobbyist actually. Like, like you need those times where you are just enjoying a cigar as a cigar smoker. Like, or you will get burned out. And I think you got to think of what's your goal for this too, man. Do you want 100,000 subscribers? For me, I don't necessarily have that goal. My goal in this was to just put out stuff I liked, meet some cool people. If I got some free stuff, cool, but that was kind of my goal. And of course I want my channel to grow, but it's just make it work for yourself. Don't let it own you or consume you.
Yeah. And when you said that, it resonated a lot. Cause I remember thinking I have some good cigars that I don't smoke because I have to feel like I have to shoot a good review for that cigar. I have to do that. I can't smoke it. And it's like, man, I have to wait till I have a chance to set up the lights, my kids not to be loud. Another thing that's really bad is my son loves to be outside when I'm smoking a cigar. It's cold and it's late now, but during summer, it doesn't get dark. So he loves to be out here. And if I don't watch him, he'll be walking up to the cigar. And it's like, bro, like back up, right? and so it's a thing where I have to plan it out where my wife's going to lock them up inside. And like sometimes when I'm recording, you can't see, but they're standing at the window, like at the sliding door like that. And they want to come outside. He has his shoes in his hands and it's like, you can't come out here, dude, because I'm reviewing a cigar. And my kid's freaking loud, man. So DJ was just saying how going through the airport with kids is crazy. I tell my wife, you always have to be ready for us to show up on YouTube as like that, or on Twitter, or on the other freaking TikTok as like those crazy parents that have like really loud kids on the airplane. Cause those are my kids, man. Those are my kids. So they're really loud. So I wouldn't be able to review a cigar with them outside. And that's why I started smoking more. And even like, if I do shoot something, I'll shoot a short on my phone. No need to bring out this stuff and do all this. But I have a lot of good cigars, especially Mike has sent me a lot of good cigars that you guys have sent me and other people, even non-creators have sent me some really cool stuff. And like, I can't smoke it because I'm waiting for a review and it sucks, man. So that's why I'm just starting to smoke it all. I'm like, screw it.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I come from the perspective that, I got into this because I was already going to smoke the cigars anyway. So I figured it would behoove me to not just have a video journey or journal, right, that I can have on the internet for forever, but also to kind of share some of the two biggest passions that I've had for the last 20 years, which was cigars and spirits, right? So spirits being the profession and cigars always being the hobby and the thing closest to my heart. And I've always felt like they were a great pairing together, and that a lot of times, it's hard to come in and just say, yeah, everything that you guys like to do, like pairing scotch and cigars, you can do this instead. I think that, there's definitely a place for it. And there's a reason why, scotch and cigars or whiskey and cigars is so synonymous. But there's also room for evolution, just like with anything, and like there's a lot of great pairings out there. And that's what I wanted to just shine a little bit of a light on in the small way that I possibly can.
Yeah.
Dude,
no, and you do. It's awesome.
Yeah. And I love your I love going back to your older videos, like in the studio. Like you know, your reviews now are fucking sick too. But like just knowing like how you started and like seeing like the you know, you would like make the cocktails and stuff like very you know, very prim and proper, you know, super dope. And it's a different dynamic, and obviously you couldn't continue to make that content at that place and everything with that production. But yeah, that was it's always fun to go back and watch those reviews.
Yeah, and I mean, like we could always go back and do a studio kind of setting like that. We could always go back and do that. That's not a problem. I feel as though that right now the trajectory that we do is more meaningful, you know, and I've done a cocktail or two in the backyard. You know, like it's something that I honestly just need to make more of an effort to incorporate. But it's one of those things where like I feel as though that those exist and they'll always exist for a reason, even though I may not have reviewed the entire cigar, or you know, I had to smoke one and take notes so that I could fit the whole entire cocktail in. So
I remember you always going back to your notebook. I was like, there's his notes. He just, you know, from the cigar he smoked earlier.
Yep. Yeah, man. Definitely. And I still write stuff down in that notebook, man. Like that was how I would actually script the initial reviews in the backyard so that I would stay on track. I wouldn't have notes in it because I hadn't smoked the cigar yet, but I would write the notes as I went along, you know?
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Are you passionate about spirits the same way, Mike?
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. Let's see. So for me, the spirits thing was never about collecting the same way that cigars like Pokemon, you have to collect them all. With spirits, I was always more along the lines of like, I guess that's where I learned something from both sides, right? Because with spirits, it was like I had the opportunity and I had the access working in Las Vegas, where everything that people wanted to showcase came to Las Vegas because you would get all of the tourists to see it. So whenever a liquor brand has like an innovative product or they have a new product that they want to catch fire in the market, it normally always starts in one of three places. It normally always starts in either California, Vegas, or like Miami or like Florida, right? Because those are the tourist markets. So they, you know, New York can be added in there as like a fourth option. But normally it's always done in those kind of markets as test markets. So new stuff would come along, whether it was cognac, whiskey, whatever, right? And we would get to try it. And it was like, hey, there's this $1,000 bottle of this that you're trying. And you're like, okay, cool. I don't know if it's normal for anybody else in the world to be drinking Louis XIII on a Thursday for work, but that's what I'm doing today. You know, and I'm sitting there with this $3,000 bottle of cognac, and I get to try it and kind of work through what it took for 100 years of aging for that to become that cognac. And when you put that into perspective, that like the person who distilled that, their son might not have even have had the opportunity to try that, and you're tasting it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It makes you think about the cigars that you have that you've been saving for 10 years, and you're like, damn, I really should smoke this because there's a dude out there that distilled this cognac that I just tried whose son or grandson didn't even get an opportunity to taste this.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
And there's limited bottles and stuff too. I'm like that's they are collectors, right? Like
yeah, 100%. I never got into like the whole entire collecting spirits thing. I totally get it because I collect cigars. But you know, we all collect something. We all hoard something. But it just it helped me, like, I guess you could say, equalize and create a nice balance between the two of them. And that's why I feel as though they're a great pairing in more ways than one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know, it adds perspective.
You do that for, which is cool. Like you're doing something. One of the things I'm most interested in is also just because we come from, I don't want to say poor background, because I feel bad. My dad is always a grinder, but in the area we live, it's called Desert Hot Springs, and they still call it Desperate Hot Springs, because it's like really like a not a good area. And we haven't moved out because we're a home, nobody bothers us, it's fine, but it's generally not a good area. But we grew up pretty rough, and I see how, you know, when I was younger, because I'm 35, so when I was younger, it was like, you go to college, you have to go to college, you don't go to college, you don't do well. And then I see people in professions that, like, they're just working hard and they're doing well, and they're doing that off their hard work. They like their job, and it's so important to enjoy what you do. So I like that, because I think it's cool, man. I don't know if you guys speak about what else you do, because Matt, I don't really know what you do, and I think you're in I don't know if you're in the military, and John, I don't think I've ever heard what you do, but I don't know if you guys share that kind of stuff for any specific reason, right?
No, I'm a military packaging specialist. I work at a small packaging company in Anaheim, California, and I've been in the packaging industry since I was 21, and just started working at this place 9-10 years ago, and just because everything that's packaged for the military, I'm not military, I'm civilian, but we have contracts with the military, and the military needs things packaged for like motherboards and like soundboards and transformers and transmitters, like technology that'll go onto like a submarine or like a jet or something. They need to be shipped per spec to certain bases to be installed. So I handle all that for my company. It's very boring.
That's awesome.
Very boring. It's cool. It's cool. Like I love my job because my boss, like the boss I work for, is cool as hell. Like he's the nicest guy, the most sincere, genuine guy. I never feel like I have anyone breathing down my neck. I'm able to work at my own pace. I'm able to facilitate everything my own way. So I love my job because of that. And do I do it because I love it? No, I do this because I love it. You know, it's my job is my job. My job is my bread and butter for finances. You know, like this, we're not making money off. Like I'm making money from Patreon, and I really, really appreciate my Patreon supporters. But that's not how I make my living. You know.
Yeah, and I'm in cloud software sales, so I'm a nerd. But I mean, I like what you were saying, dude. Same thing as Matt, by the way. For me, it's not like my labor of love. It's just provision for me. I mean, I enjoy it enough. You know, there's aspects of it I for sure enjoy. I couldn't do it if I didn't. But to your point, though, man, I love what you said, because I'll never forget this, man. When I was younger, I was buying a car. My wife and I were newly married. I was just getting a pre-owned car, and there was this. Oh man, it was a Silverado High Country, but it was a dually. And this thing was just specced out, man. And it was a pre-owned truck, and it was selling for like $85,000. And the guy asked me, he's like, "Do you want to?" I was waiting for all the paperwork stuff to go through, so he's like, "Hey, do you want to?" He saw me looking at it. He's like, "Do you want to take it for a spin or sit in?" I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah." He's like, "We're actually holding it for the guy who's buying it." I'm like, who the hell buys these types of things, man? You know, like a truck with 75,000 miles for like 85 grand, you know? And he's like, the guy who's buying this one's a welder. And I was just like, that's sick. Like,
welders make bank. Welders make fucking bank.
And see, I didn't know that. And a lot of people who do contract work can make a ton of money. And that was eye-opening to me. And like, not that I didn't respect the profession and the trades before. It was just this kind of seminal moment of like, damn, dude. And of course they work their asses off. But it was cool, man, because dude, this thing, like, I can't even tell you all of the little just features this freaking truck had, man, but it was sick. But
you know what's funny? People see a BMW or an Audi and they're like, look at that super nice car. They see that Mercedes, you know, and they don't know that like a lot of these trucks, man, they're freaking crazy.
Oh hell yeah!
See this guy in a truck, they don't know that it's a $75,000 truck. A $60,000 Beamer. They just don't know, man.
It's insane. Dude, there's certain trim packages of like the F-250s that are over like 100 grand. So Yeah.
Dude, we get it's funny because like there's a lot of nice cars in our office for sure, but I mean some of the trucks are really where it's at. Like some of the guys that I work with, because I mean when you have kegs and stuff that you have to drop off to certain accounts, you really need a truck, and some of them have really nice trucks. Like it's pretty intense. But it's funny because I'm thinking about the welder comment and the Panda Burst by South Park. Did you guys watch that episode?
I have to. I need to get Paramount Plus again, but I really want to.
Dude, it's so good. And it's like the fundamental background of it is that like all of the handymen are the rich people now. And like one of them is Elon and the other one that's like his direct competitor is Mark Zuckerberg. But they're both handyman, and like they're the only two handyman in South Park, and everybody needs stuff done. So they're like rich.
Yeah,
they're the rich people in South Park.
Supply and demand. It's crazy because, like you were saying, that welder bought that truck, and one of the guys that I told you about that I knew him when he was a kid, man. And they live in a place in the middle of the desert where, in his house, their water heater didn't work. But the way they do it is they gut it. And it's still a holding tank for water. So instead of it turning on with gas or whatever, they throw firewood inside of it to heat up the water. So there's no temperature control, no nothing. So this dude came from that, started working with us because I used to manage like the biggest plumbing company in the U.S. It's a big franchise company. And this guy now, like, there's a bunch of young kids now because the service plumbing trade is different than like union plumbing. Service plumbing is the people that go to your house to like, fix things that are broken. And this dude these kids are making so much money. He bought like you guys know what you might know, you guys know what Glamis is? It's like the dunes, the sand dunes.
Yeah.
So these guys are buying Can-Ams. It's like a $50,000 toy, man. It's a toy.
Yeah.
$50,000 toy. Then his truck. Then they put like boosting kits on it, and they're like 65,000-70,000 in. And he's just a service plumber, man. And he used to work at In and Out, then made it over here. These kids are making $200,000 a year. I never made that money when I was a service plumber, but these guys are like really good. They take the approach of like a subcontractor. They promote themselves. They make their own business cards. Because when you work for a service plumbing company, you're allowed to promote yourself because you get calls. Those are your customers. Whatever you do, you get a portion of it. It's like, so these young kids with that opportunity. Here's a little hustler that I used to know him. He used to sell candy. He used to do these little things in the job where he's allowed to do his thing. They just, take off. And that's why, like, I eventually do want to do a YouTube channel about that stuff. I thought that more cigar people would probably want to get into that. But when I look at my demographics, it's just people that are a little bit older. So it just didn't. I used to think, maybe, people listening to cigar content will want to jump into the trade, but it usually is a little bit too late to change careers like that,
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you, man. Yeah. I'll never forget. I met an oiler for the first time too. When I was younger, and he had just gotten back from a 6-month stint, and he had just bought like a brand new Tundra, the TRD Pros. And, my wife, he was like a kind of an acquaintance of my wife, but she was like, yeah, dude, he makes like off a 6-month stint, he's making like 120K. And so he'll come back for like a month and then he goes on another 6-month stint, and it's just, and, we, in Texas, you see them a lot, cause they come back from the field, from the rigs and stuff. And, they'll be like, yeah, we're back for a month or whatever. But yeah, when they're gone, I mean, it's hard, obviously hard ass.
Yeah. They're busting their ass,
Yeah. But people don't know, man, how much those people make, dude.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of people out there that do well. Just it's the viewpoint, right? Like it's perception. People see a banker, they're like, this guy's killing it, and then they see a worker, they don't think much. But it's cool, man. I think as long as you're happy with what you're doing, and that's the main thing. Because I know a lot of people who are unhappy because they're comparing themselves to others, and it's just like, man, you're going to drive yourself nuts, man. Be happy with what you got. Be happy with life. And I don't want to sound corny and stuff, but it's just, I've driven myself mad before thinking I should be doing more, thinking I should be doing that thing. And it's like, there's no point to that, man. You got to be happy. And everything is cool,
The only person in a healthy frame of mind, the only person you should compare yourself to is yourself. Like, don't compare yourself to other people. Just compare yourself to yesterday. Compare yourself to a year ago. And if you're doing better or worse, or whatever your definition of better or worse is, that's the only way to like truly grow as a person, and a healthy way to grow as a person.
Yeah, definitely.
Question for you, Raj. So, how do you feel about the movie Pulp Fiction?
And Dune.
What time is it? It's like okay, so
it's about that time.
How long do I have?
Right.
It's about the time. We got 44 people still in here rocking with us, and I appreciate every last one of you.
Man.
Yeah,
nerds.
Cool.
Sick, man.
Nerds.
Sick.
I love Pulp Fiction. I don't watch a lot of movies. Again, it's just for the last few years, especially since my kids, I can't go to the movies because we'll get kicked out. So, but Pulp Fiction, I love Pulp Fiction. Dune is one of my favorite movies, you guys. I've watched that movie 3 times, which I don't rewatch movies.
Wow.
The new one, right? The new one, right?
DJ's not in here.
Wow.
I'll be like, what the hell? But
DJ's he'll watch it on the rewatch. Trust me. You're gonna catch this.
I love that.
Because I'm gonna clip it and post a short.
I've seen the old Dune, that weird cringy one, and then the new ones. To me, the story was so cool, man. Like it was awesome, and I watched it 3 times. It's a
beautiful movie.
I watched it with my wife, made my brother watch it, and we watched it. It's just man, that's such a sick.
Everybody's falling asleep around you.
Yeah, Peter.
I love that.
No,
to me, kick Robert. No. To me, that movie is a work of art. That movie is a work of art, in my opinion. I fucking love that movie. Yeah. It's beautiful. I can't wait for the next movie coming out in the series. It's a beautiful movie. John's coming around on it slowly because you managed to stay awake through the entire second watching of it. Yeah,
without my weird trippy ass dreams.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Albert, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but Albert, LV Paving, you guys have a spot over in the Southwest next to me, right? I think that you're on my side of town, aren't you? Let me know.
Yeah, there's a movie with Matthew McConaughey, and he's with what's the young kid that used to be in High School Musical? Zac Efron, and he's like a lawyer. And you guys know which movie I'm talking about?
Lincoln Lawyer.
Is it Lincoln Lawyer? No, this one's a weird movie where like Matthew McConaughey's gay, and his brother's like hooking up with some. I didn't watch the whole movie because I was falling asleep, and I would wake up and it's the most weird shit, man. And I started having these weird lucid dreams of this movie. So when you say that, John, I can relate because it was so freaking weird. I told my wife, that's the craziest movie. She's like, you were asleep for half of it. It's like, yeah, well, I saw the whole thing in here. It was just weird, man. Like, so that's funny how that happened.
Dude, I was tripping, man. I was like in and out of sleep, and it was these weird scenes and shit. And I was having weird dreams. I was like, oh, what the hell's going on with this movie, man? But yeah, when I rewatched it and I stayed awake, it was good. So, but Peter threw up a throwdown. If the Chiefs beat the Eagles tomorrow, I will rewatch too.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Go Taylor Swift. Go Taylor Swift. Get us a win, please.
Oh yeah. Your boy is in love.
Putting Travis Kelce on the map because he needed it, from her.
God.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Albert, I drive. So Albert, you know where like the back way is off of Rainbow? That's how I go to the office every day. I like pass right by LV Paving, especially with all the construction. That's cool, man. We have to catch a smoke one day soon.
Totally,
Dallas
man.
Buyers Club.
Dallas
Buyers Club. Roger?
It's a good movie. No, it's not that one because that one's cool.
Because he wasn't gay in that. He was wasn't he?
He was. He
wasn't even bi. Yeah,
he was just like cowboy.
He was just a cowboy.
Wasn't there one where he was like super skinny? Was he super skinny in that movie?
In Dallas Buyers
Club?
Oh yeah. Him and Jared Leto,
in that
both,
one,
man.
Yeah.
They acted their ass off.
They won an Oscar for that, I think. Or
so.
Nominated.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I haven't watched too many movies. It's just
Paperboy?
Paperboy, that's what it's called. Yeah, it's a weird movie, man. Like, it's super trippy. It's weird as it is, and then watching it half asleep, it made it even trippy. You know what I was thinking about? There's lives that you guys do when it's just you guys, and those lives it's cool when you have guests because you're learning from whoever's on, and it's cool. And then there's lives that you guys do when it's just you guys, and you're interacting a lot with the comments. And I like those lives a lot too, right? Because I'm in the messages I'm sending. And I remember thinking, I hope that does happen. And I remember thinking, hopefully we don't distract from the comments. And I kind of feel like that did happen a bit, so that kind of sucks, man. So I'm sorry about that because I did not want that to happen.
No, man,
you're fine.
No,
you're
dude.
Fine.
No,
I think that we've had guests on for the last 2 shows in a row. So like this has probably been the most interaction that we've had with chat. We also had a lot of people in today.
Yeah,
chat was live, so that was cool.
Also helps when I'm not in command of the chat when somebody else is because I'm shitty. I'm shitty at updating the chat.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm such a terrible multitasker. I'm so terrible at that shit.
You're all right, man.
But Roger, I want to ask you, what's the worst cigar you have ever had?
Ooh.
The worst cigar that I've ever had was...
And why?
What's the worst cigar that I've had? I got to think recent because... Okay, so in the beginning, I didn't really like smoking Perdomo because I don't like the way their cigars look, right? But I smoked the champagne, and I like the champagne. Then I smoked another Perdomo, but it was a darker one. But it wasn't the Maduro because it's not, and I'm not too familiar with Perdomo. So I smoked the Perdomo. Oh, and I got a second one. You guys are going to trip out about that one. I smoked the Perdomo, a different one, and that cigar, I hated it. It was like this, and it wasn't the RH. I don't know if it's a Habano or what, but it was very strong. It was it made me feel like a little bit in the back of my throat. I kept getting like this irritation, and then I got this weird nasty taste where
it's ammonia. Ammonia.
You think that's what it was? I felt like
it was fresh.
Fine, but it was a nasty cigar that I thought, dude, I didn't want to smoke it anymore. I smoked maybe a quarter of it. A second one that did that to me was a 4 Kicks. But that, I think, that's one until you guys probably think it's crazy because the 4 Kicks is great. But the one I smoked, and I haven't smoked one since then, I got some from Peter. So I'll try them again. But the 4 Kicks, I did not like the 4 Kicks at all. At all.
I've never been blown away by 4 Kicks, but they've all been solid. Like I haven't had a 4 Kicks that I thought was bad. You probably just got just the luck of the draw. You got the shitty one.
Dude, at some point, Roger, I'll send you the 4 Kicks, the Kappa Especial from 2021.
Oh yeah, I really like that one.
That thing was money for me. It was that thing was super creamy, like really good cigar.
It's like a perfecto. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was a good one.
And also the first Pittore Blanche I ever smoked, I didn't finish a quarter of it. I couldn't.
What size?
So it was the
what size?
Sir Louis, so it was, I think they only had one size. It was in a Robusto because I felt like it was a little bit bigger because I just smoked the Robusto that Peter sent and it was 100 times better. It was bigger, so it must have been a Toro possibly.
There's a Toro. There's
super spicy.
Fuck. Okay. I'm hoping that the one.
This is a matte cigar. I'm like, because this thing is spicy, man. Like the beginning was spicy. It was. It to me, I got too much of like that grassy hay taste, and I thought I didn't finish smoking it. But then again, I smoked that other one that Peter sent me, and it was like a completely different cigar. But I think that's kind of just what happens with cigars, right? You can't just judge it based off one. They're real things. They're not, made in a factory with the same everything. So I imagine you're gonna get different leaves, different humidity treated differently. But I was so excited for that cigar, and I maybe I hyped it up too much in my head, but it was I didn't enjoy it too much.
I'm hoping the one I sent you goes a lot better. And it's like it's one of those things where it's like you know, some people, they just don't like Connecticut's, and that's fine. It's like, you know, it took me a while to get back into Connecticut's, and it took like a particular few Connecticut's for me to really be like, oh shit, I guess I really like Connecticut's now, you know? So there's just certain things about certain cigars that your palate just picks up. Like for you, it's that grassy note that you just can't get over. Like for me, it's mineral earth. Once I see a cigar has that flavor in it, I can't not focus on that note, and I hate it. And that's like, you know, freaking Ometepe. Ometepe has a shit ton of mineral in it. I hate Ometepe tobacco because of that. So there's just certain things that different palates pick up differently. And it's just, it is that's what makes cigars fun. That's what makes cigars like different, because all of our palates are different and we all have different experiences. We want to share those same experiences. I want you to experience the same thing that I do when I smoke the Terre Blanche. But if all of our palates were the same, if all of our palates, like, you know, would enjoy the same cigars the exact same way, cigars would be a lot more boring.
Yeah.
You know?
We've got two questions in the chat. One of them is, Roger, did you have spicy food prior to smoking that Terre Blanche?
I don't remember. It was such a long time ago. But I don't eat very spicy food, so I don't think so. I mean, my dad and brother, my dad's bald, so when he's eating, he's sweating like on top of his head. So he always has like a rag for his head. They love super spicy food. I can't eat really, really spicy food. So I don't think so. It must. I don't believe so. But it's different, right? I'm going to tell you guys another one that was crazy. I'm sorry, Mike, real quick.
No, you're fine.
I have a video, the CAO Amazon Basin, and that cigar, the first one I smoked, I got it. I waited like 3 days to smoke it, and it was so bad I couldn't finish it. But this, I've never gotten this. It must have been ammonia too, because I do a lot of work at the hospitals in the area. We're their service plumbers. So there's this weird smell you get in like an operating room, and I could taste that like rubbing alcohol, like iodine, kind of really strong.
Yeah.
I was smoking
chemically.
Like, yeah, it was crazy. But then I smoked it again recently because I bought a 5-pack of them, and I smoked it again. Oh, it's been a while now that I smoked it again, and it was really, really good. It were almost as good as I still like the Añejo, Arturo Fuente Añejo a little bit more. But again, those sticks are super fresh, because when they got there, my B&M was like, if you want some, take them, because they're going to be gone soon. So I picked up 5 of them. They are pretty fresh. I'm assuming. I know they age them, but they got to the B&M like within 2 days. They were gone. And everybody loves that cigar, right? So that's why at first I was like, damn, this is weird. A lot of my videos, I always do preface like, this is like, if some of my cigars split, some of them have problems, and I always say it's not the cigar's fault. This is it's not the cigar's fault. It's my fault, because I didn't. I know I did something wrong with it, and that's usually what it's been.
The Amazon Basin it's definitely like a different flavor completely, you know, and it can be very off-putting, I think, to somebody who is not into that, or it triggers, you know, some of those like very intense kind of aromas and palate kind of like sensations. It's different for sure. Some of the tobacco that's in there, man, it's unlike anything I've ever really smoked.
Well, see, that was one of the
so good.
But yeah, I really enjoy it.
That was one of the first cigars I smoked inside when I tried to do, because I didn't have this set up outside. And I was like, I'm going to smoke in the house. And I had two air purifiers, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And we had paint. That used to be like my workout room. So we just got everything out. We painted it like a few weeks prior. And I wonder if that played a role. And the whole time I was nervous because I could see the smoke. My wife was texting me, the house smells like smoke. The house smells like smoke. So that review was bound to go bad just because of the whole experience was not going right.
Right. EKB wants to know, Roger, how you feel about Cuban cigars.
The only Cuban cigar I've ever smoked, and I've smoked it 3 times, is that same one, because we brought a few of them, and it's been a while since I smoked it. But that Romeo and Julieta, I I fell in love with that cigar, just because it was super smooth, very like I don't even remember it. I just remember my brother-in-law also smoking more cigars afterwards and always saying, "Remember that really good cigar? Remember that really good cigar?" It's like, yeah, I do remember. And we didn't even know it was Cuban at the time, but afterwards it did, because it came in tubos, and we brought a few of them back, and that's when we realized, like, oh shit, these are supposed to be Cuban. I do have some Cubans that were sent to me. I think Matt, you sent me one too, so I'm looking forward to smoking one again. Eric Tran, Smoke One If You Have One, sent me a few of them, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, cool, man.
We are at 3:04, gents. 3:05 now. What's any closing remarks or anything else? Roger, you want to do any shout outs or anything like that? Thanks for coming on with us all night.
Yeah, thanks,
thank you guys
dude.
Thanks for the invite. This, like I said, this had been a thing that I watched these so consistently, and just a few months ago I was watching, and again, I was more of a lurker, and I feel bad. I always say in my videos, if you can like, comment, but I don't blame you if you don't, because I didn't used to do it. Even though I've always been big on YouTube, you never think they're going to see your comments. You never think they're going to respond. You never think it's going to do anything. So you kind of you don't think it helps that much. So you're like, whatever. I used to like a lot of videos, but not comment and stuff. So I was not a good viewer back then. So the fact that I have so many good subscribers now, that like, even when I posted that on my social that I was going to be coming on this live, so many people love the new wave, man. So I don't know anybody who doesn't like the new wave, and everybody's like, hell yeah, bro, that's so sick. Like, I'm gonna watch, even if I can watch for 30 minutes, I'm gonna jump on. And I appreciate that so much, because I was not as good as a viewer. So I try to shout out as many people as I could throughout this video, like all the people that helped me, all the good interactions I've made, all the friends I've made, including you guys. Like, Mike, you've been doing this for so long, and when I have a question about cigar content or anything, I had 15 subscribers, and you respond to my messages. It's crazy, man, because it's
100%.
To me, I always thought this huge guy is responding to my comments, like this
man,
responding to my messages, to my DMs. It's crazy, and I've got that from so many people.
The best part about doing this is the camaraderie that we all get to share together, I feel like, and collectively as a community.
The Cigar Collective.
The Cigar Collective.
Yeah.
Because once again, I was going to smoke the cigars regardless. So everything else is a cherry on top with whipped cream bonus, and all the fudge. And like, I remember when Matt and I would talk about having 150 subs, and maybe we'll be at 156 next month. So it's always like my favorite part of the journey to go back and relive and rethink about and just contemplate exactly what that was like. So whenever I see somebody new who's doing it, that is reaching out and stuff like that, I absolutely always try. I think that I do a good enough job of responding to everybody's comments. Sometimes I don't see like a secondary comment because I just don't have that notification on my YouTube studio like that. But I do try to always make sure that I follow up on the conversations with people. Some of you that have reached out via DM on Instagram, I always try to make sure that I comment back to and I respond with. And whenever I get the opportunity to speak with a newer channel, specifically because had it not have been for DJ doing what he did for our channels when we were new, we probably all wouldn't be here right now. So I like to pay it forward whenever I can. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because I know for a fact I wouldn't have had as many listeners as I do if it wasn't for you, Michael, for the beginning, you and Peter, the Cigar Collective, because you guys kind of gave me what's it called when somebody kind of notices you, so then others start noticing you. Damn, I don't know what it's called, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like that, because of that you and Peter did, it gave me people instantly. Like, I started getting so many listeners, and if Peter like sent you this stuff, you must be somebody cool. And I'm like, fuck,
yeah,
man,
right.
This guy, like, Master Your Ash is watching your videos and commenting your videos. You must be cool. And I thought, damn, these guys kind of, you guys validated me. You guys I wouldn't have had as many listeners if it wasn't for that. So I appreciate that. And you had no reason to do that. Like I thought to myself, like, why would they do that? They have nothing to gain from that. Like they're just helping me out. They're helping out new. And I see you guys do it with others, and I try to do it with anybody new. So I appreciate that, man. Like I don't want to get too into it, but thank you guys.
No. And like there were very, very few, man, that were already doing it, you know, like DJ that did that for us. You know, so like it's part of how I personally view it, is that, you know, we I don't want to get into all of like the drama stuff, but I feel as though that like there's definitely a responsibility for people that are in the space doing things to welcome in the next group and the group after and help build that. You know, it was something that when I was doing my master accreditation in mixology, that like it was far and few between. They were like, it was so black and white. There was either like the group of older mixology people that were really into helping out the younger group, or there was just like they didn't even want to talk to you because you were coming to take their spot, so to speak.
Damn.
In whatever capacity. Mm-hmm. So like, and it's very much like bartending and mixology, those are all trades. That's trade work, hospitality. Mm-hmm. It's not just like, because you're actually creating an end product for somebody. Mm-hmm. You're creating a drink. You're creating an experience, more so for a guest. And it's like there's form and technique and all of these little nuanced things that so many people with experience can teach you and help you along your way. And I just think that it works hand in hand, man, with what we're doing here as well. Like, you know, you asked the question earlier today, and we were talking about how to not burn out, how to enjoy cigars on your own time, how to make sure that it still is a hobby for you. Mm-hmm. And like John said, not just like you're going through the motions because you want to put out content. You know, all of those things are the right questions to ask, for sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. I will say one last thing. If a disclaimer, if you send me a DM, like a voice note, you open the floodgates, man. Because I'm a huge like voice noter. So Peter, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be sending you voice notes. Matt, you're gonna get a voice note, because I drive and send a lot of messages. So if I get a voice note, you open the floodgates for me to be able to respond in voice notes. So that's a quick disclaimer for anybody who does that.
Dude, yeah, I started doing that with our group chat. Just I can't stop doing it now. Like if I'm in a place to where like I can voice note, voice memo, that's just what I do.
Yeah.
And before an Instagram, I could go over a minute. I could go like as long as I wanted to. These fucking guys would have to listen to me for like 5 minutes, like for one message. Now Instagram updated their app. I can only do it a minute at a time now. It sucks.
So now
sorry,
just
guys.
5 messages.
This guy can get a whole entire cigar review in 7 minutes, but a voice message, bro.
No way.
True.
No way. 2-minute voice. Yep.
2-minute voice notes. Cool, boys. Well, anything else that you guys want to wrap up with? 39 people still rocking out, man.
Awesome. Jesus.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody, for checking in. And Roger, it was great to have you on. Great to talk to you, dude. I knew before that you're a cool fucking guy, but it was really cool to talk to you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. No, thanks for the invite, guys. It was awesome.
Yeah, sweet, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
all right, guys.
3:12. Let's call it, everybody. Have a great evening, rest of the Sunday, and good luck to both the Chiefs and well, not the Eagles. I don't like the Eagles, but sorry, Pete.
They're in your division
tomorrow. Yeah.
All right. Good seeing you guys.
Good luck, everybody.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody.
See you guys.
All right. Bye, all.
Bye-bye.